And we're figuring it out. It's later. We got to figure it out now.
All right, cool. Well, I found out, in this week's episode that we're a part of the we're the Milky Way ghetto. That's who we are.
We are the Newark, New Jersey. We are like when they was talking about Earth, they said it like Camden. They said it like South Central. They were like, ew. But they didn't say it like a regular person. They said it like a Beverly Hills snob talking about sauce. They're like, you're gonna go back to Earth? And then this is the face. Wait, no, this is the. Where's the face? I had it. There. They were like, Earth. Look at this. Like, I saw this picture. I was like, no, perfect.
Yeah, that's it.
This encapsulates why they're such dicks.
This is the full on example as to how they felt. This is the type of look that my wife gives me when I raise my voice at my kids. Sometimes this is the same look that she gives me in disbelief.
How could you?
How dare
they weren't? They were, and then they were acting grown, but they ain't grown.
And then when she does it, I can't give her the same look now because it's okay when she does it. You understand?
Yeah.
That's this look. That's what this look. I gotta say
that's because mom's got to be the disciplinarian, man.
Apparently,
mom's got to rule with fear. Dad's got to rule with broness.
Yeah, apparently that's what it is.
What are you drinking tonight?
We got a little bit of Cabernet going on. My wine of choice. That's typically where I go. Pinot Noir. If I'm feeling like I want to go take a little bit of a lighter journey, I like that. Here's the thing: Cabernet is a little sweeter.
That's true.
So Pinot Noir is a little, has a little bit of a
fuller body on a Pinot.
Taste. Yeah, and Merlot, that's
Merlot's trash wine for trash people.
Yeah. It's way too bad. I can't do it.
It's the same with like certain white wines. Like I like white wines because they're like cold and it doesn't matter what they taste like. But like someone would be like, you want to try a Riesling or a Moscato? I'm like, no, thank you. I've had Sprite in my life. I know what it tastes like. Like, it's fine. Like it tastes like syrup Sprite. And then you have like Pinot Grigio, which somehow is the driest beverage. Like it crosses your lips and you're like, sand? How did this happen?
I don't know how anybody drinks that. Moscato, I always say this, Moscato is more of a, no offense to the ladies, but it's more of a girl of taste that women tend to love. My wife does not like any red wine at all. She can't do it.
A lot of it's headaches. A lot of times, like I've noticed in my experiences, like you're 100% right. Like women prefer whites, men prefer reds, and it's just like it's hard to order a bottle for the table. Like that's all. Like
it's two separate choices that you have.
Yeah.
To go
Like so, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If I'm out with like a bunch of dudes and I'm ordering a bottle of wine because we're doing something like let's get a bottle of wine. Whatever I order, the dudes are like, we're drinking it. Like we don't give a shit. Like, but we'd prefer if it was like a nice Pinot Noir or some blend. And then like women, it's like only sangria. Like the only red thing that they will touch is sangria, and I'm always like, I mean, I'll order a bottle for you, ladies. Oh, it's gone. How'd that happen?
Because that's another thing too. They don't drink it for the taste. They just drink it immediately to be able to get to that buzz. And so we're like, I am actually enjoying the taste of what this is.
Yeah.
If the destination is that I do get a little bit of a buzz, that's okay. But I'm really actually just enjoying this for the taste. They want to immediately get to the pinnacle.
They kind of got to, because brunch only lasts for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like brunch only lasts for 2 hours. Like if you go to a 3-hour brunch, like ooh, there was a place called the Bicycle Club near me, and they would do like brunch was from 10 to 4. I'm like, at some point that's dinner. At some point, yeah, and like, but they kept bringing food out, and I kept eating it. And it would be like, it was like 6 of us, 7 of us would go there, and they were like, yeah, it's like $50 a head, all you can eat, and then like as much certain things you could drink, both like screwdrivers and stuff, everything else you'd order. And it's like, yeah, but you guys, like, we'd show up at like noon, and then I'd be like, we're not leaving. And they're like, well, we have we're not leaving.
Was the food good?
They said,
like,
it was $50 for all you can eat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It bad and good are become irrelevant at $50 for all you can eat. Like they just kept putting out sausage links and bacon, and I don't care if it was real bacon or it's Jimmy Dean sausage.
I mean, you did pay $50 for it, so you got to get your money's worth.
I think the $50 was. I think the $50 was for the booze. They didn't realize that like I was coming. They were like, at one point,
motive, which was actually what it's called.
Yeah.
But everybody else had a different. They had a different perspective on it.
They're like,
no, it's just for the drinks specifically.
Oh, okay. Anthony, why don't you put some fruit on that plate? I'd be like, what the fuck's fruit gonna do?
I come to
get in the way of my maple syrup. Like, what are you doing? Get out of here! I don't have time for this.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That's
and then, dude, it got to the point we had gone like every Sunday for like 3 months straight. It got to the point where after a while, the people who were making the omelets would just be like, just make your own, dude. And I'm like, all right, I got it. It's cool. I got you. Like
a whole omelet. That's at least a 30-minute process, my guy. I mean,
no. It's one of those. They had the things on the. You ever see one of those?
Okay.
Yeah, the little thingy. Like no, because the eggs were already like it was a liquid egg. It wasn't like I have to crack the egg or anything. So just pour the eggs and then put way too much of everything I want in it, and then it would be like it's not. At some point, it wasn't an omelet. You know what I mean? Like at some point, it was just eggs. It was just eggs with stuff in that I wanted in it, and sometimes it was stuff that I wasn't supposed to put in it. I was like, yo, bacon, crack, throw. What's up?
Oh, bacon.
They were taking orders. They were taking orders. I was like, yo, this bacon's a little too well done. Can you bring out a bunch? They're like, yeah, like that's like I don't need it. I don't want it stretchy, but I want it like I don't want to feel like it'll snap if I bend it. But can we get to some middle ground on the bacon? They're like, we can't help you. Also, who are you? And I'm like, no, you're right.
That's fair. That's a fair comment. All right, so what are we supposed to talk about? So we were talking about X-Men 97. We've already established the Milky Way ghetto, and then we got into this tangent.
This is a Moscato drinker. I just put a Moscato drinker on the screen right here. That she drinks Moscatos.
She definitely does drink. You know, let's talk about the fact that Deathbird hasn't changed at all whatsoever.
Zero.
She has not changed one bit.
Zero. She's incapable of growth.
She really is. She hates her sister, and whatever ploy that she had to get rid of Charles Xavier. By the way, spoiler alert. Whatever sort of idea.
Spoiler for a TV show that. Who cares?
Listen,
no.
What if you're on the internet at all, and you
it's not a movie.
X-Men 97.
It's not a movie.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. It's not a movie.
I genuinely don't know.
I respect the spoiler on movies. I respect the spoiler on movies. I respect the spoiler like
what 10 days? I give you 7-10 days ish, and trust me,
you get a week plus. You get until the Monday, not the next Monday, the Monday after.
Right.
Like because it's like not everybody can do that, and I get it. Right. Who's gonna go see a movie on Monday night? You know what I mean? Like, isn't it?
No one.
That's sad. That's a sad. I've done it. It's sad.
Actually, it depends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I'm not because you know why? It does. You think in your head, you're like, oh man, it's only gonna be me and whoever I go with, or myself, like whatever. It's like I'll have the theater to myself. No, it's other sad people, and it's just the saddest. When you laugh out loud, you start feeling self-conscious. You're like, oh, like when you're in a full theater and someone laughs, other people are laughing. You're like, haha, we're enjoying this as a society. When it's like you see something funny, and like. You hear the echo of your laugh in the theater. You're like, oh,
yeah. I'm at
Can
the
I
point
get
now
another?
in my life where I am the Monday night moviegoer because that might be the only night that I have available where my kids are decent and my wife is not too tired to put them down by herself that night in particular because it's Monday. It's just the start of the week. So that is the only time that I have available to me to be able to actually go to the movie theaters, because we're at the point now, me and my wife, we've talked about this. So we've been Marvel movie watchers since the very beginning. And we've gone to see pretty much basically every movie together.
Yep.
Except for when we had baby number 4. When we had baby number 4, that was when we said, you know what? I'm going to go see it, then you go see it, or vice versa. You go see it, and I go see it. We're not seeing these movies together anymore until when they come out on Disney+.
Your oldest is what, 7?
My oldest is 7, and my youngest is 1. We have 4.
You only got 3 more years, right?
I mean,
3 more years before the oldest is starting to watch the kids.
Yeah, around there.
And your oldest is a girl, right?
Yeah, we're starting to train her now. She's already.
No, you're fine.
She's already in process. Yeah. She's already.
If you do have kids, anybody out there, girl first. Girl first.
Yeah, you control that, by the way, as a man. Just so you're.
You absolutely control that. You absolutely control that. Yeah, it's all about the food you eat and the position and a whole bunch of other Italian woman sayings.
Yeah, I mean, totally controllable. Totally controllable. But yeah, so that's who we currently are. But yeah, this chick is completely incapable of growth. What's the whole thing about getting rid of Charles Xavier? It's not because she really hates Earth. It's not because she hates.
She hates Olandra having a good time.
She just hates her sister. That's all. That's all. This is Days of Our Lives. That's all. This is Days of Our Lives that we're watching here.
Yeah, but like we started with that. Like Gladiator's a G. I love him to death.
100%.
Well,
Gladiator's his own limitation is whatever he thinks. that's it. And he thinks very highly of himself. It's his own limitation. Yeah.
His power is, I got to do this, so I'm going to do it. Got to be done, and I'm the one who can do it because I want to.
I think he's a cocky MFer though. To inhale and then exhale and blow away people. That's some cocky crap, right? That's some cocky ass crap right there.
Think about it the other way. Think about being one of the guys getting blown away by a dude who's just like, and you're like, he ain't gonna blow us away. And then boom, you're like, I was so wrong. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, how'd you get? Can you imagine him talking to his friend? Hey, how'd you get down here? Some dude blew me away. What? Yep. Exactly. No, yeah, some dude.
Yeah, he had elf ears. It was weird, man. He was. I want to say he was purple. Or his outfit was like the dude was. It was just a purple dude. What's his job? Oh, HNIC. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like that's his job. Like.
Yeah, he was absolutely a G. So, but yeah, it's her again. She looked good though. I'm not gonna lie to you. And whatever she
it's like the animators. It's like the animators are figuring out. They're like, oh, it's potentially possible for breasts. Like breasts are possible. Like it's so weird, right? Like Rogue is known for like 4 things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? It's lefty, righty, dead ass, and then stealing powers in that order. Like that's.
Yeah. I'm glad you said stealing powers last because in reality, that is the last thing that we remember about her, but it's one of the most memorable things about her.
Yeah, and then we got Anna Paquin Rogue, which was like, I hate to shit on Anna Paquin.
Who?
Suki. Suki.
I don't know who that is.
So it was Suki.
I've already my memory. I'm not sure you're talking about.
Yeah, we got Anna Paquin Rogue, who like, again,
I'm not familiar, but please go.
Well, you forced me to make a video, and I'm still working on it because I'm so mad about it.
As you should be.
Yeah, you forced me to make a video that I had to take a break from because I was getting like agitated because I was rewatching some of the old X-Men to get like clips and stuff. And I was like, oh no, this ain't right.
How do you think I felt? I made a video recently where I talked about what was it? I think it was the top 10 times Professor X died.
Yeah.
Because he never really dies. And part of that process was watching that movie, The Last Stand.
I just like I get what they were doing. I get what they were trying to do, but like again, like Rogue, it was like whoever, Brett Ratner or whatever kid toucher that was directing those videos, whichever one, because there was two. There was Brett Ratner, and then there was, who's the other garbage director that touched kids? Allegedly.
That's a lot of people, unfortunately.
Brian something? X-Men director.
We're doing the same thing.
Brett Ratner and Bryan Singer. Those are the two. Bryan Singer. Yeah, garbage people. Yeah, set him, bury him under the jail. But anyway, like they were just like, all right, we know enough about the story, we know enough about what's going on, but this is how we're gonna tell the story. And it's so funny because they nailed certain characters. Like they just nailed them. And then like they nailed Magneto, they nailed Professor X, they nailed Wolverine was fine.
Wolverine was good.
They nailed Jean Grey for what it was worth. Like they nailed Storm.
But I get it, yeah.
They nailed Storm because and people were like, there needs to be more Halle Berry. Like, no, Storm's not that. Like Storm does her job.
Yeah.
And they're like, Rogue. What do we do with Rogue?
Like Halle Berry as Storm. Honestly, I thought she was a little bit
star power. She was named.
She didn't have that presence. I was like, she's not gonna. Young me. Young me was like, oh yeah, I mean, Halle Berry. Yeah. But as I've aged and gotten older and I've rewatched these movies, I'm like, wow, she was. They could have selected somebody better.
Yeah. I feel bad for the chick who played Storm in Apocalypse. No, good TikTok. I think they could have, like, I feel bad for the chick who played Storm in X-Men Apocalypse. One, she was in X-Men Apocalypse, which is a terrible thing to be in.
Yeah.
And two, they didn't give her shit. They were just like street rat. Like they gave her the Aladdin story. Let's not be too hasty. like just
that was Storm. I was like, you know, I don't remember Storm being this what's the word I'm saying? Non-poetic.
Yeah.
There was
just dry. Just dry. Now, like when they made Psylocke and we're like, let's get Olivia Munn to do it, I was like, no, that makes sense. Olivia Munn is an awful actress and a terrible everything else. The only thing she's ever done, that was kind of passable was it Newsroom? The one that was on the one with Jeff Bridges.
Another movie I liked her with. It was like a Christmas movie, and I was like, she was likable in this. Yeah, so she's very attractive. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. So you know, I get it. Like attractive people in Hollywood, but like we're getting real close to the point where like you could be attractive and a good actress. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say to you. I'm like, I think we now, and maybe we call us snobby Marvel fans. By the way, embrace it. I am 100% a snobby Marvel fan. If you're not aware of that yet,
that's me smelling my own farts. By the way, I'm just
letting you know. That.
Taco Bell Gorditas, wonderful.
Yeah, no, we're completely snobby Marvel fan, snobby superhero fan. Me, yeah. I less now care about whether or not you look attractive. I need to feel this character. If immediately I go into this and I'm like first, think about it, Sydney Sweeney, gorgeous. Oh yeah, phenomenal. Yeah. I didn't care about her character not one bit, and it wasn't for the sake of me wanting to make a video to bash the movie, which I did. I wouldn't have watched the rest of the movie.
That's fair.
I was done after the first. We're past the point now where you just look good and that's okay. We need you to actually be good. Not even great. Good. Can you be good? Can you potentially just be good?
Yeah, I'm fine with you being acceptable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. I don't need you to blow it out of the water, but can you give a respectable, effort, performance? That's what we desire. That's what we desire. I could do some of the acting that they're doing. That's saying a lot because I'm pretty terrible at acting. Ask my wife.
I'm not gonna.
You.
But I believe you.
Yeah, that's the truth. All right, let's move on. Once again, thank you for coming to my tech talk.
I'm here. I'm here for Goofy's tech talks. Like, I don't know if other people think it's something else is going on, but this is just a Goofy tech talk time.
Yeah, at this point, I enjoy. So the episode, by the way, I will say I was a little bit disappointed overall in the episode. Once again, snobby Marvel fan. I was a little bit disappointed in the episode for a few different reasons. It's the same thing that I felt about episode. Which was the Motendo episode? Was that 4?
4.
Motendo and Life Death Part 1.
Yeah,
I was very disappointed. I was disappointed in that episode again because it was. We rushed the story between Storm and Forge, where once again everybody was just like, "What? Like, I love you." That's crazy. I've had much less complicated situations that's taken me significantly longer to solve, and love has never been the part where I've gotten to. But whatever.
Did he say "I love you" before they boned?
See, at that point, I guess I had I thought that they had probably boned at that point. Because of him saying "I love you," like I just assumed that there was some bonage that happened.
Look, there's two things, right? There's 2 times where a dude will say "I love you" that quick, right? It's the first, you gotta lock it down. You know what I mean? Like you gotta make sure that you get a couple more runs. So that's the first. I ain't gonna go into detail, but y'all know what I'm saying. And number 2, is like Catholic. You know what I mean? Like Jesus cross and shit. Like those are the 2 times a dude's gonna hit the "I love you," and like, but first of all, he's right. I just don't like his motivation because like loving Storm is, look at her in those overalls with them mom jeans. Like she knows what she's doing in the 90s.
She, listen, the mohawk. Listen, that's a different type of look, right? That's fierce Storm look right there.
Imagine being taller than a chick that you know will 1v1 you
easily. Like
you know what I mean? Like,
you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm partially turned on by the thought, but keep going.
Like people say all the time, like, oh, there's like professional fighters, and I'm like, yeah, but like, I'm not particularly concerned with like 140-pound, 145-pound women's martial arts. When like, if I lost 145 pounds, I'd still be over 145. You know what I mean? I'm kidding, but like kind of not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I ain't 280, but like I could afford to lose most of you and still be like bigger than you. And if you're trained, yeah, but like I don't think all of your body weight can pull my arm back. You know what I mean? Like tiny little things.
Okay.
I get it.
I'm not sure the science behind that, but okay.
I'm pretty confident in the science of like, I'm not going to bring up some controversial stuff right now, but I do believe
probably best
that there is a slight difference in physiology between male and female, or masculine and feminine. And I think that there's something to that in that effect. That I just think, I don't like, I'm sure that could be different, but like,
this is a
I don't know.
This is a hypothesis.
The hardest I've ever been hit by a woman, and this woman was not happy with me. The hardest I've ever been hit by a woman is nothing compared to like my bro playing around a little hard. You know what I mean? Like getting too rough.
But was she Gina Carano though? Because she can.
If Gina Carano hit me, I might propose.
Okay, that's fair.
She built different. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah,
she dumb. She dumb as fuck. Like, I'm not saying she ain't dumb. I just found out.
I think she might be smarter than we think, but that's.
I just found out. Not like she might be smart in some things, but she ain't smart Like, I found out that, like, so I didn't know this. Pedro Pascal's brother is trans. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what they are referred to as now, if they're his brother or his sister. I don't know. I just know he has a trans sibling. Okay. And I know that he went like above and beyond when Gino's like, okay, no, hold on. Let me, and she even tweeted it. She's like, Pedro kind of talked to me about this, so I understand it. Anyway, I'm going to triple down on being wrong on the internet, where, you know, everyone is sane and rational. That ain't a smart move. That ain't a big brain move.
No, so I don't think that she made the best decisions in moments. I don't think she made the best decisions. She made knee-jerk reactions. Let's put it that way. She made a lot of knee-jerk reactions, not considering her position and what she had to lose being in her
She used to fight for tens of thousands of dollars. And then she acted for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if she didn't say anything, she might even be acting for millions. But she said something. And now, I don't know what she's doing, but I know it's not, you know, work.
I don't think that her issue was saying something. I think her timing and messaging. Now, and I know what some of you guys be saying, well, you got to keep it real. You got to keep, yes, true. But there's tact that can be used when making statements about things. And also what platform you're using to say those things to. This is cancel culture. Like, what, I mean, you kind of got to know what time it is a little bit.
She chose her integrity over being a sellout. To me, that's more admirable. Sure, but like,
I'm not
integrity.
By the way, I'm not. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, I get like her. Like, I get what she chose. It's still stupid. Here, I got you right now. I got you. We're gonna solve this right now. Goofy, you're married. You got a wife. You and your wife are out with some friends, right?
Right.
Your wife says something demonstrably incorrect. Like publicly. Do you correct her?
In public? No.
Absolutely. Thank you. When you get back home, do you kind of be like,
yeah,
by the way,
absolutely, without question.
Yeah. Do you know why?
As soon as you get in the car, you know,
because it's decorum. There's decorum. There's what you do, and then there's what gets done. These ain't the same. You with your other, you out in public, and your wife says something dumb, you nod and smile. When someone tries to correct her, you go, I don't think we should talk about that. You change the subject. You move it on. Because you moving on. You get home, you're like, yo, that was the dumbest thing you've ever said. And I've heard you say dumb shit. Like, that's the dumb, please understand you are wrong. Like, that's not an opinion you have. That's dumb. Publicly, you defend the person that's yours. That's your job. Privately, you educate the person that's there. She publicly educated nobody. And that's my line for her. If I get that she was on the receiving end of some shit that she didn't need to be on. But I also get that she chose that path in life. She could have been a waitress at Denny's. She could have been an accountant at H&R Block. She chose actress. Rachel Zegler chose actress. The chick, do you hear about Scream 7?
Yep.
The chick from Scream 7, the one whose name I don't know.
I don't know her name.
Not Jenna Ortega. She got fired. She didn't get fired.
Yeah.
She got fired.
Yeah.
Because she was saying some shit.
Right.
About some stuff that she has an opinion on, because she has a platform. She has an opinion on it. She wants to use her platform. She's fired. She ain't going to work again. Facts. Like, she's done. She's done. Like, I don't know what to tell you. She's done. Like, and that's
sort of the issue with. So, what Gonzo said in the chat, yes, yeah. She chose her integrity over being a sellout. I don't think that those things are necessarily mutually exclusive. Yeah. And I'll say, like, she can still keep her integrity, but then know what to say publicly. Like that was the issue. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem with her having her integrity, but for the sake of, I guess, her career, you got to choose when and how to say certain things. And unfortunately, she got put, and I'll be honest with, like, some of the backlash that she's gotten, I mean, are significantly nastier than what she said. Significantly.
Like, yeah, but like,
question.
But that's the whole problem with the internet. Like, humans suck.
And it was unnecessary. A lot of it was unnecessary. Like, a lot of it was.
But even then, like, yeah, I don't, like, shut up.
And,
right?
And don't get me wrong, too. I'm not siding with Disney on this either.
No.
Like, let me be very clear about that. Like, they got their own issues that are significantly worse than hers. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm not siding with them by any means. However, what I'm saying is, being in her position and being in her shoes, you gotta tread cautiously, unfortunately.
You choose. It's a choice. It's all a choice, right? Yeah. You chose a career that requires specific things, right? That's it. It doesn't matter what you do. If you choose to be an IT analyst, you don't got to shower. You know what I mean? Like, if you choose, like, you know what I mean? Like,
however,
yeah, I'm just saying, like, you choose to work in a data center, like, you just can be dirty all you want. You choose to work in sales, you clean those fingernails. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like, the world doesn't have to conform to what's right, and that's the problem,
right?
Because the world is not represented ever. There's just loud voices.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say something unpopular, right?
Yeah.
You better like make sure. Like, I think the apology video thing is like insane. Like,
yeah, I never believe it's obviously it's very, for me, I just always feel like it's very contrived. You said what you said and you meant what you said. You're just now upset that it's affected you negatively.
Yeah.
Like, that's really kind of all it is. But you are who you are, and to a certain extent, I would almost prefer if someone came out and said, you know, I understand that I said something that was insensitive and it may have hurt certain people. You know, however, I'm still going to stand on my belief as who I am. I would almost prefer that as opposed to like, hey, I apologize. I shouldn't have said it at all. I was wrong. I would prefer if you just like, you know what? Hey, this is how I feel, but I'm sorry that I said it in a particular way that was offensive to others. I almost would prefer that. And sure, you're going to probably face additional backlash for it, but at least that doesn't sound as contrived as the apology ones. I'm just like, dude, I don't believe this.
We were playing a game of Goose Goose Duck a few months back, right? And one of the players, not American, just gonna throw it out there, was like, let's go get him and lynch him, right? Now the person he was talking about happened to be of the darker complexion, so we were just like, woo! And he was like, what? And I'm like, dude, you just told a brother you were gonna lynch him. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat him up. I'm like, that's not what lynching is.
That's not what that means.
That's not what lynching is. He's like, what is lynching? And we had to like educate him. He's like, oh, I didn't mean that at all. I'm like, no, the reason we're explaining is because we know you didn't. Right? We know you had no idea. Like, which is why it's funny, because you just said it because you thought it meant beat him up, which is honestly so endearing. Right? Yeah. Like, but it doesn't mean that.
Doesn't mean that.
It means something else. And that's the difference of apology. You know what I mean? Like, if you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I had no idea that's what it meant. And then if someone's going to be like, well, you should educate yourself, go fucking sit on a cactus, eat shit and die. Fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if, like, I didn't know for a long time that Eskimo was not a slur, but like a derogatory term.
Yeah. Right.
I had no idea. Like, I've always heard, like, they would do their songs and stuff as a kid. Like, I didn't know. And then someone was like, you can't say that. Same thing with gypsy. I didn't know until someone corrected me. I was like, oh, okay. And now I don't like refer to those like groups as that. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I just won't Inuit.
Like the indigenous people, they're like, you know, we grew up in school. I mean, what, you know, what we call them, Indians, right? That's what we thought. Yeah, that's what we were taught.
Well, even then, the indigenous people are like, Indians is fine. Like some indigenous people, especially in the United States, are like some like entire groups, not like a person. Like groups of them are like, Indians fine. We don't care. If you're not gonna call us like Iroquois, Sioux, like if you're not gonna call us by our tribe, like Indians fine. Like does it like it's all words white people made up for us. So like what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
It's the same thing. Like I refuse to use African American because I'm like that just sounds white. Like that's like I'm like it's just that's
American. Yeah.
That's just like I guarantee you that was just some dude is like, we'll call him that. That's better.
No.
I'm like,
is it though?
I mean, just call them people. Like you just call them by their name. Like I don't know why you're, but all right, fine.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting territory to be in, but yeah, I mean as it pertains to the storm or whatever the case is.
I don't even know how we got here.
I really don't either. I don't. I mean,
Forge.
how do we ever get here, bro? How do we ever? This is gonna be the podcast where we go off on a tremendous amount of tangents, and eventually we come back around to whatever the hell we were talking about, and then you'll enjoy the experience.
Stay tuned on the next episode of Goofy and Tony figuring it out.
This will be it.
Working through some stuff.
Working through it.
Solving
mysteries,
societal issues.
No, but on real though, I'm like I said, I'm not real. I wasn't a huge fan of this episode. The purpose of this episode though, obviously, was to get Storm and Professor X back on track to eventually come back to Earth or come back to where they were and to help out the X-Men. But the life-death thing, I felt a little bit unfulfilled, bro. I was just like, man, I remember what the comics were like. They took a lot of parts from the comics, right? Of course, like with the adversary. I think in Life that she was talking to a snake when she went back to Africa. So it was a little bit different than what it was in like the show, which I think what they did in the show was fine. It's just one of those things again where things are just being sped through so fast. And although I understand because it's a 10-episode series and there's so much that's going to happen in that 3-part series, which is all basically be like 8, 9, and 10 are going to be incredibly stupid, insane, is what we're expecting.
I almost feel like Life Death should have been this entire episode.
And then Professor X next.
No, I think the Professor X and... No, see, I was going to say the Professor X and Jean Grey and Jubilee's thing should have been one episode. But actually, that might have been interesting to see, like, how it ended. Because it didn't particularly... I mean, it did have the scene with, like, giant zombie Gambit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would have liked that much foreshadowing. But, like, I almost feel like this was, like, the entire... Maybe the Life Death could have been episode 4. I don't know. I just... maybe from a logic, it doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense from how they told the story. But at the same time, like, splitting Life Death Part 2 up, like, Part 1 up, and then Part 2 up with the, like...
Yep.
That's an interesting story, but one was told in a story that doesn't matter, and the other was told in a story that mattered tremendously.
Yep.
Like, and at the end, we saw Sinister is still the big bad.
Yeah.
Sinister is the reason.
Yeah, and that was... So, I mean, I think... I don't know if me and you had thought about it, because I know I didn't initially think that it could have been Mr. Sinister. I think we were all kind of like, okay, well, they're taking some stuff from E from Extinction. And then, of course, it could be Cassie Nova, but we were just like, the Cassie Nova doesn't make any sense to bring into this particular period. Because in the comics, from what I can remember, right, Cassie Nova, did she steal the information from Bolivar Trask? And then that's how she was able to send them.
No, she found it. She straight found
a
wild master mold, a wild sentinel.
Okay.
In like the jungles of like Brazil, and she was like, "I got an idea." And she just found it. I think she stole Trask's DNA to be able to control it or something.
Okay. So there was something that she stole, but yeah, that does check out with would that be the case? So I think we thought they're pulling from so many different damn storylines, right? I mean, even like her costume that you're seeing right now, that's like from what the giant X-Men whatever run.
Giant size X-Men.
Giant size X-Men. So like that's even different. So it's just there's a lot of things that they're doing. They're pulling from so many different storylines. I'm trying to find a way to keep up with where they're going, but because even now with Cable reminds me of Age of Apocalypse, right? So, and I'm hoping that they're not going to cheese this by having Cable go back in time and fixing things. I really hope that they're not going to cheese it like that.
They've made a point to show that every time a time traveler fucks with the past, they make a worse future in some way.
Yeah.
Like they prevent a catastrophe and a new fresh hell emerges from that.
Emerges from it, yeah.
Bishop came back and then like prevented the days of future past, but then went back to the future and it was a different version of like, or he prevented the virus, or he brought Nate Gray to the excuse me. He brought Nate Gray to the future, and Nate Gray became Cable because he said he called Madeline Pryor mom. Like he knew.
So they confirmed that in the Genosha episode. Yep.
Yeah. They packed a lot in that Genosha episode, but it didn't feel. It felt like a full episode. This one, they packed a lot into it, but I felt cheated.
It felt like there were two stories that needed to have their own individual time.
Breathing room, even. Yeah.
Right. That we didn't get to have. While I feel a little bit more satisfied with the Storm story, but the only reason I feel a little bit more satisfied with it is because at least we already had somewhat of a backstory in episode 4. So it felt like this was just like a conclusion to it, although I would have preferred there to be a longer story. The Professor X story almost felt like that's a really big story. That's massive.
Where was
to the
Professor
entire
X?
Series.
He's healed. He walks, but he doesn't really walk. He walks in an exosuit. But like he's fine. He boned down with Lilandra.
Right.
Like
for a year. For a year, bro. And they've been mourning his loss on Earth, thinking that do you know how pissed off they're going to feel when he comes back and they know that he's been gone for a year and Magneto has died, Gambit has died, all these other mutants have died, and he wasn't around? Now, granted, to be fair, I don't necessarily know what Professor X would have done to have prevented this anyways, but still, it doesn't mean that people won't feel the way that people feel. You know what I mean? Like, so can you imagine that now, knowing like, yo, this dude was just out. What was he doing? Playing make believe? Right? That's what they said. That's what they said in the episode. Playing make believe.
Now, my hatred for Professor X aside, can you let a man get some though? But can you just let a man get some birdussy? Because that's what it is. Listen,
and to be fair,
they were like super mean.
That Shi'ar Punani might be something different.
It's the birdussy, bro.
It might be something different than any of us have ever experienced before. So I'm not gonna hate. However, it's hard for me to believe that they're not gonna blame him for what potentially happened.
It's not even like Shi'ar Punani, right? It's like I'm not even reading that out loud.
You cannot.
I'm not even reading that chat out loud. And I'll say anything. I'm good. It's the idea that she is the empress of an empire. And then when he puts him in a classroom, he's like, behave, you little brat. He puts a fucking binky in Deathbird's mouth.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you shut your whore mouth. Class is in session and the teacher thinks y'all are naughty. I'm gonna tell you that your empire is thieves and murderers that cut off people's knees and then said, let's help you walk. And I was like,
right.
These people are not prepared for this truth, Professor Charles Xavier. Why Why did you bring this vigor into X-Men 97? Like, why were you all like, bro, let's help people and let's be good. And here you're like, you suck and you need to suck less. Bro, he's hitting people in their joints, right? He's putting pressure on their joints. And on Earth, he was just like, well, the humans are just misunderstood. He was like, you guys suck and you should feel bad about sucking. Dude, 9 out of 10. He's like, I'm not forgetting my X-Men. You kidding me? You know how much work I put into that?
Right. I mean, the irony of it is, of course, he left one place that was racist and then went to another place that is
like they evolved from monkeys. And he's not, they hit him double time. They're like, you evolved from a monkey and you're not even a human.
Yeah, they said literally the lesser class.
Literally hit him with the you're not even a human. You're a mutant human. And Charles was like, all right, hold up.
That was the last straw.
Shut up.
Like, it was like, all right, just listen.
On my worst day, I will turn all of you into babbling infants and run this empire for 1,000 years. Y'all understand that Gladiator was in there, and you saw his face. He was just like, I'm useless.
He's like, yeah, I'm stuck here, guys.
Phenomenal cosmic power, itty bitty living space. I don't know what to do. Like,
yeah, basically. That's what. But this episode was big just for showing some of the Professor X power. Because I'll be honest with you, in the first animated series, I thought he was a little bit of a pussy, a little bit. He didn't really do anything. He didn't do anything. And in a lot of the comics too, they don't really show the length of Professor X's power except for when he kills everybody with his mind, because of course he goes crazy. But that's about it. That's the only time that you really saw.
Keep in mind, Cerebro was created not so he could like find mutants. It's so that the effort he could produce wouldn't also murder everybody.
Yeah, right, correct.
Like Cerebro was like a tuning fork. And like if he wasn't, he could just be like, hey, where are the mutants? All of Malaysians have died of a cerebral hemorrhage. Like, oh, I found the mutant and he's not going to help us now, but like I found him. He's dead.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So it is.
Jean Grey needs to use Cerebro or Cerebra because she is not that powerful as a telepath.
Correct.
She is an incredibly powerful telekinetic. She can move the Earth.
Right.
Right.
Like she's Omega level in that sense, but she's not Omega level telepath. There's a difference.
Actually, yeah.
Who is Omega level? Is it Quentin? Is he? He's
Quentin
Omega
Quire?
level. Yeah, he's an Omega level.
He's an Omega level telepath. Yeah.
Okay.
It's only him and Charles.
Okay.
And that are telepaths.
Is Charles Omega level? I didn't know Charles was Omega level. Is he?
I believe so. Hold on.
I mean, Quentin is in a much later run too, and I mean, I know Legion is Omega level as well.
Charles might not be on the official list now. Let's see. Basically, if you have manipulation, you are Omega level.
So they probably replaced Charles with Quentin, I'm assuming.
Exodus. Screw Exodus.
Quentin does nothing. He's been. Let's talk about this for a second. In the comics,
go off.
Yeah, in the comics, this man didn't do crap when the Genosha happened, and he's supposed to be Omega level. And then, once again, in X-Men 97, we see Exodus, and he doesn't do crap. Exodus needs to be stripped of his Omega level power. I'm convinced he needs to be stripped. What has he done? Omega level telekinesis? How? How, sir? How did you not do anything whatsoever? Be a threat. Stop something. Move a sentinel. this way. Move the people to a different place so that they could not be seen. Hide them from the Sentinel. You couldn't do any of that, Exodus. You're supposed to be an Omega level mutant. Exodus is useless. I'm sorry. He's a useless mutant. He's a
that's not
useless
true.
Omega level mutant. Okay,
that's not true.
He's done nothing.
He has
twice.
a use. He has a use. His job is to make tea with Hope Summers tampons. Like,
that's about it.
Is it Hope or Rachel? I always forget. Who's he obsessed? Is it Rachel? Who's he obsessed with? One of the Summers girls.
It's Hope. Isn't it Hope? Or is it Rachel?
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's neither. We don't know, because this dude is just he's like a cult leader that's just constantly jumping between like people.
Yeah, God. I think he's a useless character. I just think so hold on. Hope is Cable's daughter?
Hope is Cable's daughter. Rachel's is Scott and Jean's daughter.
Scott, okay, all right.
And
boy, I can't keep it straight sometimes, guys. I'm sorry. There's too many of them.
I'm trying to remember. So Hope Summers' power is one of them is I always confuse them because I hate all Summers. I hate them all. It is Hope Summers. The entire time it was always Hope Summers. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Hope Summers has the part of the worst right? power. Okay. Yeah. She has the worst power. Hope Summers is the adoptive daughter of Cable and Hope Summers. First of all, y'all suck for that having happened. Cable married Hope Summers. Cable married a woman named Hope, had a daughter named
Hope. Okay.
Gross.
Choice.
None of that matters. It's her power that I hate. Her power is the dumbest power. Like, Franklin Richards has reality manipulation at the universal scale, which is like too much power for any person. Right? Like, that's just too much. Let alone a 15 or the 5-year. I think he's like 15 now, but like a 5-year-old when his power is activated, because he's a mutant that also has the cosmic juju.
To me, him. My Galactus. No, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you can make Galactus his puppy and all right. And not change his size at all. Just make Galactus his puppy.
Yeah.
She has this weird, Hope Summers has this weird ability where she can absorb your powers, right, by being near you. Peter Petrelli almost from Heroes. Like, she's near you so she can get your powers, right?
Okay, yeah.
But because of that, your powers become stronger when you're near her. Like Bishop. And because of that, she absorbs your new strong powers, which become stronger, and she just creates this, like, positive feedback loop of just like everyone around her, by its definition, should just be God because of how she increases their powers.
Okay.
But she is a character, and like a lot of times,
so that's why she's a part of the 5, because essentially she's the one that amplifies all
the
of their
juice
powers to create. Okay.
She's the juice that allows all of them to pull off like what they're doing.
Okay.
Vulcan, every Summers we could just remove from this list. Everyone.
We did see Vulcan in this episode, right? He was one of the members of the Imperial Guard.
Yeah, just hanging out in space, being Vulcan.
Yeah, the long lost brother.
I hate it. Magneto's power isn't magnetism.
I don't understand. Isn't his name changed now to like Max, by the way, something another, which I was not aware of until like literally this week.
His name is Eric Lencher. He is a Polish Jew. That is his name. His middle name is Magnus, and for a long time he went by the name Max.
Max, okay.
Because Max. Oh god, it was equally a ridiculous name he went by. Okay, thanks ads. Appreciate it. Max, there it is. Let's see. Max Eisenhart.
Max Eisenhart. Okay. Was that his alias? Basically? I was like, his alias?
That might be his birth name.
Oh, okay.
And Eric Magnus Lencher might have been his like alias.
Okay. Got it.
But it doesn't matter because his power is not magnetism.
What is his power? Because this watching X-Men 97 confused me a little bit with his, because I just always said, okay, he moves metal, he moves anything that's close to metal, whatever. Like that's his power. He's strong. Cool. Also, he's just really cool as heck as a character. So who cares?
Very technically, he controls like primordial elemental forces.
Okay. Break that
like
down
very technically
in layman's terms. Yeah. I think the original 1960s version of it explains it probably the best, to be honest, but I don't remember. I mean, that's how long ago did I read that? But like there's a specific line that explains exactly what it is that he does, and I remember it being there. I just cannot say exactly what it is off the top of my head.
Well, first, his original power was he had the ability to control, like to manipulate electromagnetic fields.
Okay.
It appeared to be magnetism because he can move metal. Okay. His secondary mutation expanded that power to being able to control elemental like forces. Okay. So technically, he could stop plastic bullets. He could be like, boop, because he can generate enough of a current almost to just things that are not magnetic will become magnetic. Like he can just control that. And the best scene was when he was pumping his own heart. Did you read X-Men Red yet?
I have not read that yet.
Okay. There's a scene where Uranus just punches a hole through Magneto. And Magneto's like, I don't feel like dying today, right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
So there's a giant gaping hole in his chest.
Okay. Yeah.
So he just moves his blood through his body.
Right.
Like manually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Man, what can I say?
And like there is not enough iron in your bloodstream to be able to do that. So like if anyone's like there's iron, not really. Like he was just like, this is what I'm doing now.
You mean kind of like how he was able to move the iron? Was it Mars? To create that, yep. We're going too nerdy.
Sure.
Let's move on. I just recently read something and I was like, "This is interesting. I must read it again because it's very confusing." But so I don't remember what we're talking about.
Diamondback. Diamondback.
Yeah, it's Diamondback. So
McDonald's Happy Meal promotion. For Captain America Brave New World has this adorable little figurine with the little sassy smirk. And it's Diamondback. And apparently the what's it called?
The Serpent Society, is that what they're called?
The Serpent Society's back on the menu. I think they're gonna end up being like the Brave New World, like the opening scene, like how. So Feige said Brave New World was kind of a return to form from Captain America, Winter Soldier, in that it was going to be more of a political drama, like a spy drama.
Yeah,
and this chick, who has an entire story that nobody cares about.
I was gonna say, please don't specifically tell me what the story is, because
I don't want to bore everybody.
Yeah, I'll have that.
But she is one of the Serpent Society, and I feel like they're going to be the Batroc of this movie. Like the first scene is gonna be like Cap Sam just beating up a bunch of people with snake costumes.
Okay.
And that's how we're gonna end up here. Both Diamondback and the Presence were referenced in a 2023 Captain America 4 casting call, which requested an early 30s female to play opposite Anthony Mackie that was described as a villain, but also possibly a love interest. And she's white. I'm just saying that because that's what the toy is.
Yeah, so here's my thing. Why do I need to care about this? I guess that's where I kind of go back to it, where this could be a great story. I just don't really understand why this matters. And this has been my whole thing about the MCU since Endgame. What is the story that they're trying to tell? Like, how does this all line up? This is the point now where the movies that we're getting from, like, let me backtrack. I understand why Deadpool and Wolverine are important, because this is the multiverse saga, and he's going to be going through different multiverses, probably going to be creating incursions. Those incursions are going to need to be fixed. That makes sense. I understand even the Marvels. She got sucked into a black hole, which, I mean, and then ended up in another universe. That makes sense. Most likely, if she continues to stay there, she's going to cause an incursion, so she needs to get the heck out. Also, probably where the X-Men 97 mutants are right now, and that's probably those same mutants that we're going to get in live action that are probably going to end up in the MCU. I see the picture. I understand it. I get it. Right? That's the multiverse. Get it. Nope. Spider-Man No Way Home. Get it. Multiverse. Again, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Obviously, multiverse. I get it. What the hell is Captain America supposed to be doing? What is the purpose of this movie? What is the purpose of Thunderbolts? What is the Fantastic Four? Once again, I get it. Plot. I see where that's supposed to be. I get it. Gonna be in a different universe. But, I don't understand Captain America.
If you ask what was the purpose of this movie when they planned it, I think it was probably going to be to show how defenseless the world was going to be from Kang. If you ask what's this movie about now, I'll tell you what it's not about. The giant alien body sticking out of the North Sea. Man,
She-Hulk did talk about it, didn't you? Don't you remember when She-Hulk mentioned it? There was a snippet, a moment in there. That was the only other time that we've ever heard about that damn.
There have been
one reference in the movie.
5 movies since the Eternals. 4, 5,
or 6.
Thor, Shang-Chi, the Chizo. Thor, Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange.
Yep. Guardians.
The
Marvels.
The Marvels.
Oh, Quantumania.
Yeah. There have been so 6 movies since Eternals. Not a single one of them was like, man, the giant alien sculpture in the North China Sea, still there.
I'm convinced that has to be in a different universe.
Prohibition still at large. Like,
no, She-Hulk mentioned it, so I guess it is in 616. But it would have made sense if they had just not mentioned it in She-Hulk. Then I would have said, all of us would have been able to say, you know what?
Bro, do you know why they mentioned it in She-Hulk? Because
why?
Nobody watched She-Hulk. Like, it was a giveaway. I'm not saying that to be shitty to She-Hulk, although I have every right to, because that sucked. Fuck you, Jerry. Sorry, Jerry come in and I have to tell him to go to help.
Hi, Jerry. I'll be nice to you.
Please don't. It'll give him false value.
No, it's the Righteous and Ratchet show. We have to
Righteous. Assume, that's right. That's right. You can
assume which one you are.
You jumped me Ratchet last week. Ow. So you were talking X-Men. We're done with X-Men now. Although spoilers,
we may go back to it at some point.
No, we might go back, but not by plan, by like just happenstance.
By like this accident, whatever.
So like, look, we have bad guys. How I felt up to and including the end of the MCU to me was Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah, that was a rough one.
I'm not gonna lie, like that was the part where they had finally ripped away everything that they had done. Like just the saddest Sam Jackson I've ever seen.
I mean, look at how long it took for people to get into Loki season 2, simply because of how bad Secret Invasion was. That was the next thing that popped up after Secret Invasion. It was Loki, and everybody was like, "I don't know, bro. Like, I'm gonna wait on this one, boo. I'm gonna wait to see what New Rockstar says. I'm gonna wait to see what those other guys said. You know, Screen Crush. I'm waiting on those guys to see what they say first before I try to give this damn thing a chance."
There's three types of fandom, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's three. There's like hyper fans, right? Hyper fans, like the actuallys. Actually, like me. Like the me. I try to tamper it down, but like there are times when something will happen, I'll be like, the fans who take
always
in
a line. Yeah, this is the line that you cross. Where it's
I understand that I'm a ridiculous person.
Anymore. Yeah,
I understand I'm a ridiculous person. I accept it, but I'm also like the person that like spends the most money on this. Where's my Thanos glove? I have multiple Infinity Gauntlets. Like, I'm the one where like some random thing gets put on sale and I buy it. Like I'm that person. So I get it. But I also, on the other side, I'm totally cool with creativity because creativity is how we get new stories. So like I like to draw the line of like, this is what the character is, tell a story about this character. Not this is like our version of this character, because those have historically gone like sideways. Even like the Ultimates, the first run of the Ultimates, they weren't like, we're gonna change everything. Like, no, they did that with something called All New, All Different Marvel, and surprise, nobody read that
about that crap,
because I didn't want.
You didn't like All New, All Different Adventures?
I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can. If I'm gonna pick up and read a comic book called The Incredible Hulk, and Bruce Banner isn't the Incredible Hulk, you better explain to me why, and I better be finding out how. You better not be saying Amadeus Cho is now the Hulk, deal with it. I'll be like, no. will not buy this comic.
Do you think that's why She-Hulk didn't take very well in the beginning? Because it felt like they were trying to use her to replace the Hulk?
She-Hulk didn't. So
because it kind of seemed like from the first episode that it was like he was passing the torch.
It was a lawyer show.
Didn't it feel that way a little bit though? Like
you really want to go into She-Hulk? Is that what you want to do right now?
This is a superhero. I was gonna say Marvel. No, we're gonna toss some DC eventually. Just that
we're not anything. It's two idiots. This is the Righteous and Ratchet podcast. You want to go into She-Hulk? Cool.
Let's do it.
Okay. It was let's I'm gonna start insulting some people. And I hope they don't see this.
Okay.
You wrote a story about a legal procedural that was terrible as a legal procedural.
It was.
It didn't hit Ally McBeal vibes, in order to hit Suits vibes. So it was nowhere in between of the funny using that to make sense, but it also wasn't like detail oriented. So it wasn't a legal procedural. Cool. But you want it to be comedy. Fine.
Right.
Okay. You decided that instead of any degree of character development, you were going to say that the reason the She-Hulk had vicious mastery over her powers, not was a quick learner. Vicious mastery is because she was catcalled all the time as a woman. So she can control that. Which, you know, you could see in real life how women have such mastery over physical combat because of all of the shitty catcalling and stuff that happens. Or that's not actually a thing. You just made it up. At the same time, we never went into the detail of why the Hulk is a monster. And like the Hulk is a mental personality created to prevent his abusive father from continuing to abuse him, which is actually funny. The Ang Lee Hulk movie nailed that and never has been taught about since.
By the way, kind of a similar story to Kingpin, but yeah.
Yes. Well, actually,
Kingpin's yeah, but you get my point.
Yeah.
It's
actually, yeah, no, that's fair. But okay. Jen Walters has a rich comic history of being like a mousy little scared of her own shadow do-get-gooder that finally was able to come out of her shell because of the powers.
So, yeah,
and she hated being Jen and she loved being She-Hulk. And that was a thing. And then her arc over time was to be comfortable with the fact that she's not two different people. She is She-Hulk. She is Jen. And that explains why she has her faculties in her She-Hulk form, but it doesn't constrain why she has control over her powers. Okay. You know what? I'm able to hand wave a lot of that because you only got 11 episodes, 8 episodes. You got to get through some of this at some point.
9.
You got to make some room for all the storyline that nobody paid attention to. I get it. And there was a lot of funny things in that show.
Yeah.
That show had a lot of moments. But they wrote a show. No, She-Hulk appears in Court and Green. She always is. She-Hulk's always green. She doesn't turn green when she's mad. She can control when she's green and when she's not. She just refused to ever not be green. She-Hulk's
she turns it on. She can easily turn it on.
She can turn it on and off. She just chooses to never turn it off because she hated how the world treated Jennifer Walters. You found it insulting that Hulk's blood goes into her and that she got powers. They have the same genetics. It makes sense. That's how it worked in the other one.
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't really bothered by that, like her getting the powers as much as her mastering the powers was my issue. That really was my main issue with
it was a blood transfusion, which is like, yeah, but like also I'm fine. Like it's weird because I'm not nitpicking because I don't have to. I have to nitpick when everything works. I don't have to nitpick when everything doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like when the entire premise of the show was the He-Man Woman Haters Club versus a strong girl. Like they had the funds. I did, yes. They had the funds to do that. We're going to talk about Taylor's new album in a second.
It was an over $200 million budget show, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
How? I don't know. I mean, I know the actress is.
Someone's walking around with
fairly expensive.
$229 million in their wallet. That's how.
I understand the actress, and I understand.
It
I
wasn't
guess Mark
CGI
Ruffalo
because we saw the CGI was terrible. It
Yeah.
wasn't what was it called? It wasn't
Mark Ruffalo was
writing. It wasn't writing because those writers, if any amount of money those writers got, they should have paid to the writer strike. Like they should have paid back in dividends to the people who were writing because that was unearned money. Whoever the showrunner was had a poor understanding of what television is, let alone what streaming television is. CGI is terrible because they pay below industry standard. People accept to pay a below industry standard. It's not. If they pay below industry standard and nobody takes those contracts, dude, there are people. I'm just gonna say it. There are people that still like agree to represent Donald Trump in a court of law. I don't care what you think about Donald Trump. That dude ain't paying bills. You know what I mean? Like that dude ain't paying your bills, man. Like you ain't getting paid. Rudy Giuliani is still sitting there like, come on, Don, I need some money here. Like,
yeah, it's not great.
The dude's not paying bills. Like it's the same thing. Like if you're gonna take a contract below industry standard for pay, look, I understand there's details to it. And maybe, first of all, industry standard for CGI has to be going down. It can't be more expensive, or else people will just go back to practical, which is definitively cheaper.
Why do you think
it has to be cheaper? Everything has to go down. It has to be cost effective.
Okay.
Like everything has to be like the reason people stopped using practical and started using CGI, even though it sucked, is because practical was way more expensive. Now, CGI is very useful for a lot of things, but it has to be less expensive than what anyone else can do, or else there's no reason to.
Oh, Madison and Wonger? Sorry.
Madison
and Wonger. Yeah, Madison and Wongers were funny. They were the right set of
It had moments. Yeah, it had moments. Every Marvel show had moments. Every single one.
Did like the little therapy session. I thought it went on for a little bit too long. Here's the thing. I liked the therapy session. I just felt like they waited too long to do that episode. That was the episode where I personally felt like, all right, if you were going to explain her acceptance of She-Hulk and who she was as She-Hulk, that was the episode to do that in. I just felt like you waited until episode 6, episode 7 before you did that. I was just like, oh, okay.
Also,
it didn't make sense in terms of what her character had done prior to that in previous episodes.
Supposedly, Titania, according to insiders, which means nothing, Titania was supposed to be like that arc where she was trying to steal She-Hulk's name was supposed to be the first, like the second and third episode of the season. And then that's why the scene where she breaks into the courtroom was supposed to be her supervillain origin, because she wasn't a supervillain. She was just a super powered vlogger who lost the rights to use to scam somebody and decided to take it out on her. And that was the entire arc. And the story was convoluted. The plot was dumb. No character was believable. Every single villain was dumb. Right? Dumb. Mm-hmm. They wasted the characters they had. The only scene I thought nailed it was like Matt Murdock. That was like perfect every time. Every cop was an idiot. Also, just to throw it out there, the ending didn't even make sense because she arrested
that entire episode.
She had the guy who stole her stuff arrested, right? Yeah. But he didn't steal her stuff because she retconned it. So what was he arrested for? Mm-hmm. So dumb show, bad writing, all garbage.
The last episode was absolutely
and she nailed it though. putting Wong in it makes you Twitter proof for an entire week because Wong was in it and everyone's like, Wong was the best part of that show.
Yep.
Yeah. It was just bad. It was just bad. And like everyone's like, well, what's happening to season 2? There will not be a season 2. Not by the same people, not by the same thing. They might as well just remake season 1. They might as well wait till after the multiverse saga and try again. That's with the same actors and everything because I love her. I love her to death.
She's honestly she's fantastic, but
she did great. I don't think anybody did poorly. I just think they had shit to work with.
Oh, I like I said, what I'm starting to realize now with these movies and TV series is, for the most part, the acting is actually good to great. The issue is the story. It doesn't make any sense. But my verdict on the She-Hulk series for me is this:
don't watch it.
They needed to make a decision. Was she Jennifer Walters or was she She-Hulk? And I know you might be saying, well, it's obviously she's both. I get what you're saying. I understand. But who is she first? And then who does she become? There wasn't a clear trajectory for that for me. And I like to go on a journey with my characters. I like to experience it. That's one of the reasons why I think Captain America's story in the MCU is the greatest story that has ever been written. It's not Iron Man for me. Yeah, sure. Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, sure. Who's selfish, great, eventually makes the sacrifice play. Okay. That's too easy.
Storytelling.
To me,
storytelling.
Captain America has the best arc because he starts off as being this guy who is God's righteous man doing the right thing and it's black and white. To being this guy that took on so many levels of gray to the point where it's subtle, but him even saying Hail Hydra, that's not something that he's doing in the first couple of times of meeting Captain America. That simple little nuance shows how much he's willing to blur the lines a little bit to be able to get the right things done, and became, in my opinion, a lot of people would say probably the one that was the most wrong in the Civil War saga, because, which is different considering that, you know, if you look in the comics, it's clear that Iron Man was in the wrong. But in the MCU, a lot of people were on Iron Man's side based on what Captain America did. I think that he had the greatest arc because he starts off good, could do no wrong, black and white character that had a little bit of gray and added a little bit more to the realness of Cap. So that's me. That's who I think had the greatest story arc. But that was good storytelling for me from the very beginning to where he is now.
And his prize I just put up on stream.
I mean, let's be real.
Wouldn't you?
I'm going back to the 1940s for this.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, 100%. My biggest regret, kind of. Okay, so I'm being over dramatic.
What's the quote? I would drag my balls over a mile of broken glass to hear her fart through a walkie-talkie. Like,
it's incredibly descriptive.
Yeah. Jimmy Carr, I believe.
Quite the visual.
Yeah. They cast her perfectly.
They did.
Like I believe that he obsessed, like, I believe that every single woman that was like, yo, Cap, what up? He was like, you don't understand what I left behind.
Would have been great with Bucky as Cap. No, I don't
agree.
think it would have worked. Yeah, I think that they moved him so far away from ever being able to take on that mantle. Captain America Sam is the right way to go, in all honesty. Like, if you had given Bucky that mantle of Captain America, he's mentally not ready for it.
He's never ready.
Really for it. Made it enough of an amends to really kind of get out of his own damn way. I mean, he's not even real. Let's be honest. I mean, he's significantly better as Winter Soldier. than he is as Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the Winter Soldier to get a different Russian Captain America, a Russian. You know, we already have a Russian Captain America.
We already have a Russian Captain.
And I love David Harbour. Tone it down a little, man. Take it. You're at a 10. I need you at about a 7. Like,
actually, we love this character pretty much. I was like,
I will watch Florence Pugh do anything ever. I love her, but not in a romantic or a sexual way. I love her the way like people love like Greek gods. Like I will worship her and hope that everything she does brings prosperity and joy to reality. She is the best.
Who is? Sorry, I missed it.
Florence Pugh.
Okay, fair. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, she's great. So whatever she does, I'm in for it. If she's like, you know what, I'm gonna be the Incredible Hulk. I'm like, yeah, you are. You believe in yourself. If she comes in, she's like Superman. I'm like, yeah, you are.
And that's White Wolf. They need to get him to not be a bitch though, because really that's who Bucky Barnes is at this point in the MCU. They
kind of ruined him over many mistakes, but they also ruined like other characters. Like, how are they gonna make Thor better after Love and Thunder? How are they gonna make what? Wait. I think they're out of Thor storylines because they can't figure out another way to make Thor forget everything he's learned in the previous 12 movies. Just every time Thor,
he keeps having to learn.
He's got Alzheimer's, man. He's got Alzheimer's. He's just like, I don't know how to be a hero anymore. I guess I'm gonna have to drink beer and be a frat boy and pine over my old hammer.
They've screwed up Thor's arc from the very beginning. I think that they tried to go with the more comedic route in Thor Ragnarok, which I thought worked for the sake of the devastation of what Thor Ragnarok was. But then the Thor Love and Thunder, I was kind of just ready for him to go back to being a badass. Like, he had already found himself already in Endgame. He had to then go find himself again in Thor Love and Thunder. I was just like, what the hell are we doing here? You already have to find himself in Thor Ragnarok. Then you have to find himself again in Avengers Endgame. Then you have to find himself again in Thor. How many times must he find
Thor, God of Hammers? The power is inside you the whole time. Immediately in Infinity War. Need new hammer. Give the old 5-knuckle shuffle, you know.
And you know, for me, Thor is my favorite character of all time.
He should be. He's awesome.
And he has, every time I see him on film, I put my head down in shame. I'm like, I just hope nobody believes that I'm a part of this. That's how I feel about every single Thor film. We have never seen peak Thor. It's sad. We've never
got close. We got close when he showed up and bring me Thanos. We got real close.
Yeah, we did. We got peak Thor almost a little bit, almost peak Thor. And then in Avengers Endgame, he was about to get his, by the way, with no Infinity Gauntlet, he was about to get dusted by Thanos. I'm just saying, once again, as a comic fan, Thor and Thanos going up against each other with no Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos. I mean, Thor can take that. Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, I understand. No Infinity Gauntlet Thanos?
I dealt with it because the story made sense.
I just can't do it no more, man. Stop treating my boy like this.
Do you even think that if next week on stream we just show the Eternals, like we just sit here and the Eternals is playing, do you think they would even DMCA strike it? You think they'd be like, we gotta preserve the sales of this movie? Or do you think that like no single human being, like I told you, I don't know if I told everybody, but I told you I got my mom watching the Marvel shows, like the Marvel movies and shows. Okay. And she loves them. Like my mom is a 60-year-old Italian Jewish woman, right?
Okay.
So like she loves these stories, man. Like there's some that she's a little bit like, oh, that's a lot. But like there are ones that I'm like, you can't watch this. And she's like, why? I'm like, because it's stupid. She's like, well, I still want to watch it. So I've watched the Eternals with her, and she was like, Anthony, I have no idea what that movie was about. And I was like, mother, that is why we skipped it.
I said neither do we. We also have no idea what this movie was about. And some of us has watched it at least 3 or 4 times, unfortunately, for context.
She was so excited for Secret Invasion. She's like, oh, the scroll. Because she actually liked Captain Marvel. She's like, oh, it was fun. It was weird, but it was fun. She liked Captain Marvel. I was like, okay. Look, if my mom likes the movie, it succeeded. Because my mom is an old Italian woman. You know what I mean? Like, if she got it, it reached. Like, she watched Quantumania and she was like, I have no idea what's going on. Like, she's like, why are there ants? And I was like, well, I tried to explain it to her and I was like, there's no reason to.
Yeah, there's nothing we can say.
I was watching a series again and went, Goofy, no, I'm on Eternals now. I'm on Thor 4 now.
Yeah, bro. Skip. It's hard. Oh, you like to rewatch them in cycles last year. Yeah, I know. I don't know how you do it, bro. There's certain movies.
She was afraid of Multiverse of Madness. She thought a lot of the things were spoopy.
Yeah,
she's like, I don't like that.
It was.
I don't like that. That's mean. She loved, like, you could just tell, like, it was funny. But like, okay, so Jerry says, what's your least favorite main MCU casting? Hero or villain, whatever. What do you mean by main MCU casting? Because I don't remember the villain's name in the Marvels, and that has to mean something. Like, does that count? Does that count? Like, whatever her name was, the character? Because if you made a character, if you make a character whose name I don't remember.
So we have to classify what casting means. Then does it mean the actress, or are we talking about the character? Because once again, I don't put Darben on the actress. That was just dumb. Who was that? What was that storyline about?
But if I don't know who, okay, I could name every villain in every movie. I can name the actor and the villain. I do not remember Darben. So therefore, I do not remember the actress who played Darben.
Ashton? I don't know where. Something Ashton, I think, or Ashton.
Actor or actress sucked for the role. There were so few, man. There were so few.
Actor sucked for the role. I still don't think that Mark Ruffalo was a great Bruce Banner.
That's Tom Hiddleston's wife? The actress who played Darben is Tom Hiddleston's wife?
That is correct. That's correct.
Tom Hiddleston dated Taylor Swift.
Because they butchered the whole arc for him. Oh, you're talking about Gore? See, that wasn't poor casting. That was really stupid writing. That's what that was for Christian Bale. Damn it. You know how much of a travesty that is? You get Christian Bale. Who say what you want. You may not have liked the Dark Knight movies or whatever the case is. That's fine. Do what you do. I get it. Like, the first movie was disappointing, Raj Al Ghul. I get it. Like, whatever, right?
Tom Hiddleston?
This man is called Gore the God Butcher.
Nope. Gore the kid toucher.
He ain't butcher no god that I saw. Except for that one.
He killed that big dude. He killed that big dude. Then we saw off screen. Although that was my favorite line in that movie. Oh, no. To get into Valhalla, you have to die in battle, not after the battle.
I can't do. How do you screw that up? And that's a really easy arc to portray, to write. That's an easy arc to write. Now, the actor has to really bring it out. And I thought Christian Bale did what he was asked to do. I just don't think that he was asked to do something that was good.
So Taylor Swift might have been
Okay.
cast as the Dazzler in the Deadpool movie.
I could not be more uninterested in this topic.
But you don't understand. You don't understand. Taylor Swift is involved. You have to. You have to care. Because the NFL told us we had to care by having the Taylor Swift can on the entire Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was rather annoying. How many times did they score? Or how many times did something happen and we just panned to Taylor Swift for no damn reason? Absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Someone said something that's been some online comedy TikTok or whatever was talking about like how Taylor Swift's important, and they're like, Taylor Swift dated John the singer who dated Jennifer Aniston, John
Mayer?
Mayer, that's it. Yeah, the whitest guy in the world, John Mayer. That's it. Second whitest guy in the world. Sorry, Ed Sheeran showed up. He's ginger, but you know, hold it against him. And they were like, yeah, John Mayer dated her. Like, how'd that go? They're like, he hasn't smiled since. And I'm like, is that true? So I Googled it, and yeah, John Mayer has not been photographed smiling since their breakup. And I was like, I am 100% convinced that Taylor Swift has the good. You know what I mean? Like, she has to.
Oh, in order for them to leave and then never be happy again? Is that what you're saying?
Like, every time she breaks up with someone, she shits talk them, and they're like, she's great. She has to have like a molten magma vagina.
Oh God, we cannot. Yo, the things that are being written in chat that we are not saying out loud. Potentially.
She is the Spice Milan. She is required for space travel. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but the her being Dazzler, I mean, let's be fair. From a character perspective, I guess it does make sense.
Well, she's friends with Blake Lively, so she would do it, you know?
Yeah. There are some rumors about Lady Deadpool. I'm assuming that most likely that would be Blake Lively as well.
Blake Lively hasn't acted in a while, I don't think.
She has not. I mean, yeah, I think there was a film that she was in that I heard was really good, actually. But I think it was more, I don't know if it was like a rom-com style movie.
The only rom-com I saw was the one with Sydney Sweeney.
I tried to watch that, bro. I couldn't get through it, man.
Does it make it more sense if I told you I watched it on mute?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, actually.
I have no idea what that story was about.
That makes significantly more sense. Because I tried to watch it and I heard her talk a couple of times and I was like,
she's a fine actress.
I'm reminded that
she's like 24 though, right?
Specifically watch her for her acting. I just didn't believe the chemistry. All I see is you. That's not the Taylor Swift one. That's the Blake Lively one, right? Are you talking about? That's the one I think I'm thinking about. The one with Sydney Sweeney is, I think, Anyone But You. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called.
She's like 24. She's got a lot of learning to do, man.
And I watched part of Euphoria, so I know she was in that, and I watched part of it. My wife watched the entire thing.
Euphoria is a great show.
Yeah, my wife watched the entire thing, and she was like, "Yeah, I really liked it." And I was like, "What about Sydney Sweeney?" She was like, "Yeah, who's that?" And I was like, "She's Sydney Sweeney." She was like, "Oh, okay." And then I was like, what does that mean? She was okay. And I was like, I get it. You're not a man, so I guess that would
She's like, oh yeah, she was good.
I guess that wouldn't have the same effect on you. I understand. What I should have done is I should have.
Y'all still gotta think of your worst casting. I told you, the chick who played Darben is the worst casting. Who was the worst cast character?
The worst casted character? Whoever played Proxima Midnight.
Have to Google that.
Just wasn't a fan of that. And probably Corvus.
I'm not saying that name out loud.
What name?
The actress's name.
Not something that's easily pronounced, I see.
No.
I don't know.
Just don't want to say it.
It's hard in general. I don't necessarily know if any of the castings have been bad.
Proxima. Go off on Proxima. I want to give you a chance.
The thing about Proxima for me was, and in general, I wasn't a huge fan of the Black Order period. Right? That's just a me thing. The whole idea that they turned Black Order into being like the subservient individuals to Thanos was really dumb. What made that story a lot more dynamic and sexy to me was the fact that they were just like, at any point in time, we could just kill Thanos and we could do whatever we want to do. But we're not going to, because he serves kind of the same purpose, which is us conquering worlds, which is essentially what the Black Order did, which is conquer a bunch of different planets. And Thanos wanted to conquer a bunch of different planets. So they were just like, all right, fine, let's go along with conquering the world together, you know? But they were never at any point in time loyal to him or subservient to him. And the fact that they decided to then turn this whole group of characters into being subservient to Thanos, and oh, great and mighty Thanos, and what with Maw, I was just like, this is dumb. Like I'm not for it. They also, you said Maw was great. They propped up Maw to be great. I mean, he really wasn't that the character in the comics, so they kind of propped him up to be that good. Which
was kind of wasted.
Who?
No, I mean, Cole? I was gonna let you finish on Maw. Who?
Cole Obsidian?
No,
sorry, Black Dwarf.
Can't call him Black Dwarf.
I mean, that's what he was in the comics. I can say it. I'm black. I can say those things again.
Person spoiled again. No, Michelle Pfeiffer was just the most wasted cast.
Oh my
God. Like, she didn't do poorly, but she didn't matter. She's never mattered in a single episode of anything. Even in Quantumania, I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Michelle Pfeiffer. That was probably the worst cast.
Michelle Pfeiffer, damn, that one sucked. She didn't do anything. She did nothing of worth, other than
sleep with Bill Murray.
Was the primary cause of Quantumania.
You know for a fact she and Kang smooshed booties.
They
smooshed booties.
Yeah,
to my Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans.
She definitely rided that D. Yeah, she definitely got on top a couple times. Yeah, 100%. Got her bat blown out. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah, you think Kang was there like, it's very important that we finish this, but no, we shouldn't have relationship. He was like,
should not have coital exchanges. We should no. Oh, he was tapping that ass.
She definitely slept with the goo guy. I didn't feel for the new Cassie. Marvel seems to be like, so Disney, remember, Marvel was taken over by Disney, and Disney is a cabal of garbage humans. So there are a lot of people that Disney is like, you must use this person. Catherine Langstrom, I think, is another chick. She's the one who she was cast to play like an older version of Morgan in Infinity War, like when there was a deleted scene where after Tony snaps, he talks to like an older version of his daughter that was Catherine.
Yeah.
Let me find the actress's name. I know
Yeah.
I think it's Langstrom.
I know who you're talking about.
Nope. It was the chick who played Rachel Brosnahan. Was that it?
That
Yeah,
doesn't
Rachel
sound...
Brosnahan.
Really?
Yeah, Rachel Brosnahan, I think, was the chick. Hold on.
Wasn't she one of the Cassies? I don't think that was the...
Catherine Langford.
Catherine Langford. That's who it is.
Catherine Langford. Catherine Langford.
Oh, wow. She's Australian. I did not know that for whatever reason. Okay.
She was the chick from 13 Reasons Why, which nobody cared about. Yeah, Catherine Langford was cast to play a role, and then they didn't find a use for her, so they're like, we're gonna save her. And you got to know that wasn't like, they weren't like doing an open casting call, and they're like, we gotta find this person, let's go. Like somebody from somewhere was like, put Catherine Langford in, right? Like put. Like I would be absolutely shocked if Marvel doesn't pick up Sydney Sweeney now while she's still affordable.
I mean, there's a rumor out that she's already been casted in the MCU, and that people are saying that she might be playing Black Cat in Spider-Man 4, which, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad role for her, I don't think. I mean, I feel like that's kind of like right up her alley. And not just because she's hot, but yes, she is. I mean, that kind of is a prerequisite for Black Cat. You can't have Black Cat and her not be hot. Like I just, unfortunately,
look at the stream.
Wow. But you cannot have her have Black Cat in it and not have her be easy on the eyes, if you want to put it that way. So I mean that would check out, that would make sense. But I mean, I'm trying to think about other, like, really Black Order was a big one for me. Just that entire casting, I think, but probably more so just the story of it was disappointing to me. The main cast, though, I thought was fine. Even Mark Ruffalo at times, I thought he was okay. I thought Ultron was really good for how bad that character, and not bad. I don't think Ultron was bad.
How bad that story was.
I just don't think that he lived up to my expectations of what I expected Ultron to be and what I know him to be in the comics. Once again, though, if it probably wasn't for a comic thing, I probably wouldn't care. And sometimes when I look at movies through that lens, I realize that because I am more familiar with the comics, that's probably the reason why I'm a little bit more snobby about things. I'm not going to change. I'm going to continue to be snobby. However, what I'm saying is that I understand that because I am snobby about it, because I am a comic book reader, that there are certain things that frustrate the crap out of me. But I think if I'm just looking at the movie through a different lens, which is hard, I do think that he did a good job. It's just unfortunate that the story just didn't really play to his potential. And I was kind of just waiting for an end credit scene that just showed, oh no, but he's still out there somewhere. But they never did. And that, at least if they did the story the way they did the story, and then they showed me an end credit scene that then said, oh, he's still there. And I'm like, I told you Ultron never dies. Yeah.
I'm surprised Ultron. I don't believe Ultron's dead. Like, who do you want Cavill to get cast as? Sentry, Hyperion,
yeah.
Cyclops.
Cyclops would kind of be a good, just based on his personality, I feel like Cyclops would be perfect for his character.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cyclops would be fine.
He can pull off being a dick and also being a good leader at the same time, but also being a very controversial ass leader. Yeah, I like that. Maybe that's a video I should do one of
Hell
these
yeah.
days. Talk about
I got this
the most
other news.
controversial leader
Yeah.
Cyclops.
Marvel Studios boss confirms one key change to upcoming MCU projects amid Disney cutbacks. Now, Disney fired 15 total people. That's not cutbacks. That's 15 people. Like,
Take it easy, Jerry.
be good. Bob Iger recently just had the studios revamping its approach to film production, aiming to enhance quality over quantity. Porque no los dos? This move follows fan concerns of the dilution of focus at Marvel due to the expansion into television content alongside increased movie output. See, that's the problem. We were all super excited about TV content. And
Yeah,
we were, everybody was. We were like, oh man, we're going to get so much Marvel content. And like, then we got it and we're like, man, it all sucked. If it didn't suck, we probably wouldn't, you wouldn't need to be revamping how you did things. If you're revamping how you did things, it should start with, how do we make it not suck? And then move on. But
yeah.
Marvel to develop more than it will produce. New system in
Going back
place
to
to
like
reduce.
a traditional studio where they have a bunch of crap in development,
Yeah.
with only like a handful of things that they actually produce into content.
Which is dumb, but whatever. Like I
Sounds
feel
like a
like this
waste of
is
time, but
I feel like this
yeah.
is a we're learning the wrong lesson. Like the
Mhm.
correct lesson is, if you want to produce 15 things a year, you need to hire enough people that can produce 15 things a year.
That would be the appropriate response.
Like the thing is that now, like, I just tell people, like, don't watch any of the TV shows. I don't even tell them to watch Loki. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't. Loki was a great show and it doesn't matter because Kang is gone.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening with Kang. We might find out something in Deadpool, which we still have like 2 months before, literally 2 months before. I don't know.
The biggest disappointment to me is that the TV shows, when you think about it, have no bearing really on the MCU. At least we can't see it right now. At this point in time in the multiverse saga, we were starting to see the picture being brought together. We were starting to see it a little bit. Now we haven't seen it yet, and I am still on the. I'm still giving them time, because I will say this: I do think that certain things like the strike was an issue, the pandemic. So I do think there were some things that were definitely changed from a timeline perspective, right? Because let's be real, Deadpool should have came out, I believe, last year, right?
How many years are we going to blame the pandemic? You know what I mean?
I mean, I would say it's a solid 2 at least.
Yeah.
You know,
So like next year we should have no more pandemic kerfuffles.
How could we? I mean, next year we got to move on. You got to be able to recover and make some better decisions and figure out what direction you're going in. I still think that they kind of made a silly decision. I understand why they did it, but knowing that this was actually a Disney call, and fight me on it if you want to, but firing Jonathan Majors probably wasn't a wise decision considering the allegations, considering that you've let people in for worse. RDJ is a thought. I just think that they were already ready to move on from him, and they never really planned out the story. And here's the thing: I probably don't have a thought of you letting go Jonathan Majors if I felt like there was a plan in place to actually replace Jonathan Majors. I felt like there was no plan in place to replace him, although you were already prepared to let him go, because before he even got the information, he was let go. So you were already ready to do this. So why was there no plan in place to replace him or to move on to a different story? So to me, this seems like a mistake that you made.
So I'm of two minds, right? The first is if they continued down the path they had set up, it is very unlikely that we would have gotten anything of quality. So whether or not they kept Jonathan Majors,
okay,
I don't inherently know that we were. Again, I don't know. They could have changed the ending of Quantumania. They could, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that could have happened. But Phase 4 didn't do a lot in terms of hyping me up for Phase 5. The only thing I'm even slightly hyped for is Deadpool.
Yep.
I'll talk about the Brave New World because it's interesting, but right now you're gonna have to show me something. Right. You're gonna have to I'm gonna have to see a trailer, a teaser real soon, and not like a conversation teaser. Like the Winter Soldier teaser was phenomenal. I'm gonna have to see something, but like
not like, oh yeah, these guys went to Comic-Con and this is what was shared. It's like, that's nice. However, everybody has an interpretation of a story. I would like to be able to see something and then have my own interpretation of that.
I didn't finish a thought I had before because we were idiots and we just segue all the time. It was the 3 levels of fandom, right? So there's the super fans, right? The ones who will be nitpicky but are going to buy and go in. Then there's the casual fan. And this is like Game of Thrones, right? A lot of people got into Game of Thrones, but they weren't going to read the books. They weren't going to get the tattoo. They were just like, ooh, it's something to talk about. And then there's the fair weather fans that are like, this is what's popular, so I'm going to watch it, right? Okay. And you have to appeal to all 3 in order to get to that $1 billion point in the box office. Yeah. Because you can make Avengers made $1 billion, right? The first Avengers movie.
The first one.
And like it was predominantly off the backs of hardcore fans and casual fans. The movies after that got like that hit $1 billion was the fair weather fans. Like there were movies that hit $1 billion that had no business hitting $1 billion. Captain Marvel, but they appealed to enough people that knew that Marvel was a stamp of quality storytelling. Was it great? No. Very rarely has Marvel come out with a great movie. Yeah. As far as movies concerned, but they've always come out with relatively good movies.
Good ones, yeah.
Now they're just dog shit on ice, right? So now that I finished that thought, back to this. I don't see a world where continuing the path that they had laid forward was going to be of any consequence or interest. So I don't know if firing Jonathan Majors for whatever reason they decided to fire him for was completely and totally a PR move, or if it was, this is an opportunity to throw out the garbage, the poopy water, like all of the shit that we have, and start again. Because that's what Phase 4 was. Phase 4 was, we have to start again. And they failed. I don't care what diehard fans think. I don't care what casual fans think. The fact is,
screwed it up, though. Yeah,
they failed.
Yeah.
They did not make money. And if you don't believe they failed, you're wrong, because they believe they failed so hard they canceled all their movies this year, except Deadpool. They like, it doesn't matter what you think anymore. Reality does not care what you think. They failed. Not you, Goofy, but like some people have that opinion. They're like, no, it was great. Like, you're wrong. Welcome to be having the first wrong opinion in the world. Like, congratulations, you've set a dynasty.
There's really only been one. So there've been I would say that there've been a couple good movies. I wouldn't call any of these movies great. Like, let's be real. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a good movie. I don't think it was great. It wasn't great. It was a good movie.
No Way Home was great movie.
No Way Home was a great movie. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Great acting, great storytelling, great everything.
But that's 2 movies out of the 7 that they've come out with. 7, 8. Wakanda Forever, I give a pass because
Wakanda Forever was a fine movie.
Yeah,
it could have been better, but it wasn't bad. It was just meh.
Doctor Strange was
meh. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't
like, I could rewatch it.
I have rewatched it a couple of times.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, yeah, there's some things that I
can't rewatch the Eternals. I can't. Like, I can rewatch it for the sake of doing something.
Never rewatched that movie. I've never rewatched that movie.
It is not good.
I can't do it. I cannot rewatch that movie.
Have you watched Black Widow more than once?
Black Widow. I have rewatched Black Widow. Yeah, I have.
I've had no interest in rewatching that movie.
I watched it twice. The reason why I watched it twice is because I wanted to get a little bit more context for Florence Pugh's role and what we're in Red Guardian, and kind of just understanding the Black Room a little bit. But then I realized that I actually could just get more information from the comics. But that was it. There's,
you know how hard it is for me to not watch Rachel Weisz? Yeah. Rachel Weisz was how I determined my hierarchy of dating is women and then men. Like, that's how it was. Rachel Weisz, she was the tiebreaker, because I think I've told this to you before. Gender, and they're all constructs, and you should never assign a gender to your children. Not a sex, a gender to your children. You should just, when they come of age, when they're about 13, you make them watch The Mummy, and they'll decide. The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
Because every single person in that movie is someone's type. And if you watch that movie and you're like, I am attracted to a Naksun Yamun and Rachel Weisz's character, and I'm not attracted to any of the men in this movie, congratulations. You are very far on the straight end of the spectrum.
Okay. All right.
Like,
food for thought.
Yeah. Orientation. Just let them choose it. Rachel Weisz. They ruined her for me. And then there was the best line in Black Widow. No, and I remember it. I've only seen that movie once.
Good. I thought she was good in the movie. I just thought that overall, you know, I'm starting to think that Scarlett Johansson just cannot carry movies by herself.
What gives you that impression? Is it every other movie?
Yeah. And I remember saying to myself, oh, Lucy was a problem.
So was Ghost in the Shell.
And so was Ghost in the Shell. There's so many other movies where I'm like, you know.
I got a spoiler for you, dude. She's not a good actress.
But the thing about it is, like, there was a movie where her and I think Adam Driver that I thought was really good, where I thought she did a really good job and he did a really good job.
Adam Driver's phenomenal.
I would almost even say that she did a better job than Adam Driver did.
I don't believe you. I think you're right.
I think you got to watch it. You got to watch it to kind of, which movie was this? I see somebody, speaking of Black Widow, somebody in the chat that said the worst casting was the lady
Marriage Story
Taskmaster. Yeah, Marriage Story. I thought she was pretty good at that. I thought it was a really good movie.
I refuse to believe Adam Driver gave anything less than his 100%. Because he gave 100% to the Star Wars movies, and they sucked, but he was awesome.
Hidden gem, I would say, would be this movie, Marriage Story. Actually, I don't even know if it's a hidden gem, because I'm looking at the ratings right now, and I'm like, these are actually some pretty good ratings. They're not necessarily.
Yeah, it seems to be rated well.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if it's a hidden. I thought this was really good.
It's not hard for a rom-com to get a good rating though, because it's who's watching it.
But it's not really a typical rom-com though. It kind of. I don't want to give it away. You got to watch it.
It's a Netflix movie, and it's got Ray Liotta before he died, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch it to understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I personally just think that she's just not well suited for certain films. And as Black Widow, as a support character, she's been amazing. She was great in Winter Soldier. I thought she was pretty damn good in Civil War. I thought she was good in I didn't actually really like her that much in the Iron Man movies. I thought she was good in the Avengers films. I thought she's been pretty damn good as Black Widow. Her, though, in her solo movie, there was a shot that of my wife was pretty pissed off about it. She was like, why are we following her from behind going into the car? And I was like,
you know why.
I'm like, I had to like pause the movie and I had to say to her, this is Scarlett Johansson. The directors know what they're doing with going behind her as she travels into this vehicle. You're of a different orientation. You like men. You wouldn't understand. But for me, this was
they are required.
This was
Scarlett Johansson is a good enough actress to be hot on camera. And that is kind of it. And I think that's kind of the same as Sydney Sweeney. That's the same as what's that chick that's dating MGK now? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Megan Fox. That sounds right. Megan Fox was a good enough actress to be hot on a movie, in a movie.
Who?
Megan Fox.
Oh, Megan Fox. Okay. Has she been in anything recently?
Well, MGK's been in her, but I don't know about.
Okay. All right.
I don't know about that. Well, no, like I'm just saying, like Hollywood does certain things. Sometimes they cast hot women to play roles. Like Jennifer Lopez was not a good actress. She became a good actress over time.
Yeah, fair.
But she was hot. Selma Hayek was not a good actress, but she became a good actress over time. She was hot. A lot of the best actresses aren't particularly hot. Michelle Pfeiffer was attractive, and she wasn't hot. Meryl Streep's phenomenal actress, not hot. Sigourney Weaver, phenomenal actress, not hot. Like,
Sigourney Weaver. Oh, man.
Yeah. So, like, and the same thing with men, too, for a while. Like, Chris Hemsworth's not a good actor, man.
He's not.
I've tried. He's gotten better.
Oh, he's gotten better.
Yeah, he's gotten way better, in but he's hot. And there was a lot of scenes where they were like, let's get Chris Hemsworth out of a shirt. So the people who are like into that will be like, well, this was worth watching. I got to see Chris Hemsworth without a shirt.
I mean, him in that first Thor movie.
In the 80s, okay. Mel Gibson got all of his movies because he was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Evans is a really good actor. He's also very hot.
Right.
Robert Downey Jr., not hot. Good actor. Very good actor.
Very good actor.
John Cryer, very not hot. Very good actor. Alan Alda. Like,
and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Conundrum. and the different sides of the spectrum.
So like there's a difference between being a good actor and being a Hollywood. Like Tom Cruise, I think, is a very good actor. Like, for what it's worth, he's a very good actor. He's an attractive man. Philip Seymour Hoffman, phenomenal actor. Wasn't very hot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying not attractive,
Hoffman.
just
Goodness.
Yeah. Halle Berry was hot and became a good actress over time. Because you know what? You can't suck for that long. Right? You're gonna have to learn how to act eventually if you're acting. The idea is is real simple though. Like they'll figure it out. They'll get you there. Scarlett Johansson has never been a good actress ever in the history of ever, but she has been always incredibly hot, and they knew that. So they're like, let's put the hot chick in there. We'll give her very little so she can't screw it up, and over time it worked out. And I loved her characters, but her delivery is flat every time.
Yep.
I only act like I know everything, Rogers. Kill me.
I actually thought that was an okay line. I thought it fit the personality of the character at that point. What I didn't like was the continuation of how she was on the elevator and all that stuff. I was just like, not elevator, escalator. That whole scene.
She's not a good actress, but it doesn't matter if they're a good actress because they didn't have to be. Like, and it was fine. That movie was for Florence Pugh carrying that movie. She's a phenomenal actress. She's also pretty cute. I don't think she's hot, but she's very cute.
Oh, I think she's pretty damn hot. Myself, personally.
I mean, that I'll be like, someone like, I could be wrong. She just might not be my type.
But to be fair, she's also a pretty good actor though. So I mean,
she's a phenomenal actress. Like, like I believe every role she's ever in because she's good at it.
Right.
I just didn't feel that way. What's fucked up about like Eternals is like I'm thinking back now. I don't think there were many bad actors in that. I think they actually kind of front loaded a bunch of good actors. I just didn't care.
There was I just watched the movie the entire time and I kept on asking myself the question, hold on, why are we here again? Why are they here again? What is the purpose of this movie? And to be honest with you, I do understand the purpose of the movie. I just don't think it fits into the context of the MCU anymore because they've killed the Kang storyline. Yeah, I saw something talking about like the Kang Dynasty and all that. I'm just like, so is the Kang Dynasty done or is it not done? Like, which one is it, guys?
He's coming. If only you knew the future we have in store.
Because they keep on saying that we're not going with the Kang Dynasty anymore. Oh, we're not getting rid of Kang. They're going to be recapped. What are we doing? Well, with that being said, I would much rather focus on X-Men 97.
I'm just putting the trailer on because it just went live.
Oh, was this the new one?
Episode 7 promo trailer.
So they keep on showing a bunch of old shots of Magneto.
X-Men. Don't miss the all-new X-Men 97.
No, that's
now
new Magneto.
Only on Disney
so
Plus.
Magneto confirmed not dead.
Fear, so long as you place your faith in Sinister.
So they've confirmed that Magneto's not dead.
Oh, I think the only one who's dead is Gambit. I just wanted to see that trailer. Because it just popped up while I was looking for stuff. And also Captain America's in this next one somehow. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I get he wasn't in the original animated series. I guess it's not. Makari and Jurek were the best parts of their story. Yeah, that was a fun part. That was a fun part. Yeah, it was a fun part of the story. But I know how you feel about the death part of it. That we won't go down that rabbit hole again, or maybe we will. But
the one thing you wanted to talk about today is now time.
Yeah,
which is Transformers.
Let's talk about Transformers 1. I really don't have anything good to say about this. So I guess I'll just dive.
Do you want to just put on the trailer?
Let's put the trailer on. Let's have it play in the background. I don't care about this.
Hey, what is up,
movie.
Transformers fans? Well, this is it, Brian. Our trailer.
Chris
This is about to
Hemsworth
drop. Oh man, I can't
is
wait.
playing
I can't wait.
Optimus
Hell yeah,
Prime.
then let's drop it. Here it comes.
I
Let's do it.
forgot who
Okay,
the
let's
other
do it.
gentleman is.
The
Forgive
Transformers
me.
One
Is
trailer
it
starts
Brian?
now. Do you do it?
Brian
Brian David
That's
Tyree.
good. I like that. I like it too. The Transformers One.
Oh, it says
trailer
it right
Okay.
there. Oh my god! If I just probably just read, I mean, it probably would have been served out better for me if I just
I'm
read
not talking to you.
what was on the screen. All right, Brian Tyree Henry.
Thought you weren't talking to me.
You two, come with me.
He's the same guy that voices, I
Report to Waste
believe,
Management.
Miles'
Hi there.
dad,
I'm
right? I
B127.
think in
I'm actually
Across
working
the
on some
Spider-Verse and
nicknames.
Into the
The one I'm
Spider-Verse.
floating right now.
I love Brian.
Badassetron,
Brian
which is
Henry.
actually pronounced.
And he was I forgot what the name of that character is again in Eternals. He was also in Eternals.
I know we're
Look
just
at that.
lowly
Bastos.
can't even transform.
Bastos. Here's my thing.
Don't you want to see what's out there?
I don't care about this how they met in high school and were best friends. I don't care about this, dude. Like, why do we keep on going back in time? Can we move forward, please? Can we move forward? Now I'm supposed to be drawn in to the story of Optimus Prime and Megatron being friends together when they've been enemies for the past like 6 or 7 or 8 movies. Now I'm supposed to care about them being friends and camaraderies in this world. They were high school best friends. They probably talked about the other girls that were. No, I don't care.
Why are they? Why are they becoming Earth cars? On
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
And I'm sorry. I love Chris Hemsworth. You know, I love Thor. Him voicing Optimus Prime is really annoying. I don't think I'm gonna watch this movie.
this is dog shit.
I don't think I'm gonna watch this movie, bro.
This is awful.
At all.
Guys, that's not good.
We've got these powers for a reason.
This is terrible.
Oh god, Scarlett Johansson's in this, bringing all of the levity and weight
We stand here together.
She's in the
of a
hard carry of this movie.
disinterested. Oh god.
I love how we have 3 MCU actors in this: Chris Hemsworth, Brian Henry, and Scarlett Johansson. I love this. I love how we've done the trio of MCU actors into these movies. Listen, hey, first and foremost, I'm glad that they're getting work. I mean, good for you. It's like
Why
100%.
did you cut the
continue to get
door?
work.
No, it was already like that.
I believe that's Bumblebee that we're seeing, by the way, on the screen right now.
Here's all you need to know. They decided to make a hot chick transformer named RC,
So yeah,
and
this
we're
moment,
all for it.
Red Green is the Abundant Harvest 15 land shell, which is something we've done a lot.
Oh, I don't know why that started playing. That's Magic the Gathering stuff. Look at this. Look at this. We don't. Who is this? This is for kids. This is for
Bro.
children.
Right, and I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll bring my daughter to go watch this. She might be interested in it. Maybe my son. I'll bring him to go see this. But I'm also like, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna pay money to go watch this in the theaters. It sounds like a thing that I'll watch when it comes out on.
Parents, if you don't take your kids to see this, you don't have to buy them the toys. Just reminding you, they don't care. They won't care. They won't care about their garbage Transformer toys. Remember, Transformers was a TV show that sold awesome toys, and the TV show slapped.
Yeah, this is not for us. It's clear. This is not for us at all. What's going on, TK? This is not for us. So they took the booty from Rogue and put it on Robot Transformer. Essentially,
Yeah, they gave it all to RC.
She was kind of caked up, wasn't she?
RC was always kicked up.
Yeah, to be fair, that's pretty good. No, this is just one of those things where obviously I'm getting mad about it because I'm just like, why can't we just get a good Transformers film that is present day that just can bring a brother in to a storyline? But they're bringing this thing, which, like I said, it's for kids. It's not really for us as a fan base. It's more so for them, and I just could not be more disinterested.
Look at this stupid, sexy RC.
So she's purple and then she's pink. I'm confused now.
Why are we worried about what color she is? It's
messing with my symmetry.
She look at what she's doing, man. They made a sexy robot car. Same reason we can't get a good Mortal Kombat film. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The last Mortal Kombat movie where they were literally given plot armor? literally given plot armor? Literally given plot armor?
Guys, I don't
literally plot armor.
I don't know what to say, guys. I am. So you think it's dog crap, or it looks horrible? I would tend to agree. I don't think this looks good at all.
What, Transformers?
Yeah, Transformers.
All the things we love suck.
That's so depressing.
We're not allowed to let everything we love, and there are things we loved that sucked when we were kids, and suck harder now. Like Power Rangers, like it sucked when we were kids. It sucks so much. Like, oh my god, we're not allowed to have nice things anymore. Everything we love is dead.
It is.
Star Wars. There were teenagers and like young 20s that grew up in the late 70s and early 80s that watched Star Wars, and like when the prequel trilogy came out, they were like, you know, in their like, because it was like early 2000s, they were in their like 30s to 40s, right?
Yeah.
And they were like so excited. They were like so excited, and then they're like, "What is this dog shit?" And then, like, because those movies sucked. They were terrible. There was a good story in there. They just were ruined by a shit director. Yeah, just that, like, yeah, we have X-Men 97, correct. A shot-for-shot remake of something that was awesome and held up over time. Like, if they redid Batman the Animated Series right now, we'd be like, that's also awesome, because that show was great. But everything we love sucks now. Every single thing. Hell, even the first Transformers movie wasn't that bad. The first one was like, it was fine.
The first one was probably the only one that was good. The second movie was a buzzkill a little bit. The third movie was okay because I did like enjoy, oh man, they got kicked out of Earth. Oh no, they came back. I was like, this is kind of cool. Last story, the last stand. And then they continued it. And then I was like, oh my God, why
Remember
are we
they tried to convince us Optimus was the bad guy? I was like, I don't believe you. Sir, you're wrong.
It's like, why are we doing this?
Of all of the things, I would sooner believe Megatron turned good than Optimus turned bad. Like, period.
Yeah. And no, that bringing in Mark Wahlberg because Mark Wahlberg is such a great actor. So I mean, we must bring him in because if there's anything that will save this franchise, it's Mark Wahlberg. And listen, I'm from Massachusetts. I live in Massachusetts. I know I'm supposed to be like, Marky Mark. No.
Someone reminded me that there was the Terminator Transformer. There was the hot chick Transformer that was gonna bone down with Shia LaBeouf, and that was like, I was like, I know what the scene is in here for. It's because Michael Bay is a weird dude, but Jesus, Michael Bay.
I mean, my favorite part of Transformers 3, honestly, was Wheelie and Brains, but I mean, that's just separate conversation for a different time.
I very much don't remember any Transformers after the second one, and I've seen them all multiple times.
I've seen the third one so many times or I've seen the third and the first one. I religiously skipped the second one. I've only watched the second one, I think, twice. But the first movie and the third movie, I've watched those movies multiple times. So that's why I'm a little bit more critical of like little crap like this, where I'm just like, oh my God, this is trash. I've even seen I've seen the Mark Wahlberg ones multiple times too. I'm a big Transformers fan. I've never really read the comics, but I watched the cartoons a lot. I watched a cartoon because back in Jamaica, where I was born, a land of my birth, I didn't really have a lot of TV options, and Transformers was on quite often. So those are things that I just remember watching. That Power Rangers and
I owned
Teenage Mutant
this.
Ninja Turtles. Those are my things. That Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were just like my things that I watched religiously as a child.
I own the Coronation Starscream figure. It is currently on display in my living room. Because Starscream is my favorite. I love Starscream.
I'm jealous. I've never been able to get any of those toys, but I mean, I guess I could get them for myself now, but it kind of feels like, why do it now?
Oh no, that came out in like 2010. I was like,
okay.
$87 done. You brought up Ninja Turtles. I'm gonna just say it. I thought the 2 new Ninja Turtles movies were fine. I might even go so far as to say they were good, because Ninja Turtles was stupid. Oh, I disagreed, Dacier. I Ninja Turtles was already dumb. This made it dumb in a way that I enjoyed watching.
So I didn't like the previous 2. So you're talking about like the semi-animated version of it, like that?
No, the Michael Bay one. No, the Michael Bay TMNT. I like those movies.
I didn't watch the very last one that just recently came out.
I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them very much. They made Shredder a
You mean
murderer.
the one? You're talking about the ones with Megan Fox in it?
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of the second one. I like the first one a little bit.
Second
better.
one had Krang. Second one had Krang. I love Krang.
The second one, I was just like, but the storyline got worse though. The second one storyline was worse.
I don't remember the story. I remember Krang, baby. It's all about Krang.
I see. I'm paying attention to the plot, and I'm like, the plot was terrible, bro.
I don't know the plot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I dare you to challenge yourself to know. What was the plot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Go on, answer that question. You can't. It was about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a guy who was real mad and used to say, "Tonight I dine on turtle soup." It was a dumb story for dumb kids. And I love it, and they kept it dumb.
And I liked it like that. And then they
are doing the last Ronin.
They're trying to make sense of it, and then that was when it was done. The nostrils and the lips killed me, and randomly blowing up the van at the end for no reason. Actually, I actually thought that was kind of funny that year. A little stupid crap like that makes me laugh. Because it's like, why do it? Okay, that's funny.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles director. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles R-rated The Last Ronin movie is in the works, which is great, except that it's Walter Hamada who's doing it. And I need you to understand why we don't trust Walter Hamada. Okay, so here's Walter Hamada's it was weird horror movies. Weird horror movies. Weird, and they weren't bad. And then he did the Batman, which I loved. And then he did Birds of Prey. And then he did Sorority Boys. I don't like any of those. They're trash. And then he did the original Suicide Squad and the second Suicide Squad and Shazam 2 and Blue Beetle and the original Shazam, which was fine, and Black Adam, Aquaman, the new Aquaman. Like, he was the president of DC Studios at the point when DC Studios sucked the most donkey balls. Like, he was in charge of their fall from grace. Was he responsible for Wonder Woman 84? I don't think he was a producer for that.
I don't know.
I think Satan himself was a producer on Wonder Woman 84.
During that time, though? He wasn't the president during that time?
He might have been the president, but he wasn't a producer for it.
Okay.
Oh, he was. Oh, cool. Garbage. This movie, okay, I'm gonna just go and say it. The worst Marvel movie is still a whole 3 number score higher than Wonder Woman 1984. I will watch Eternals every day if it means I never need to see Wonder Woman 1984 again. Like, if it's like a prayer I say to keep the demons away. Because
funny
this
thing is
movie,
that movie is still not the worst DC movie ever made, though.
no, that was the new
There's-
Aquaman movie.
It's like a two-way tie between Batman versus Superman and Aquaman.
Oh, you
And
can't
then-
compare the
and
two.
then there's- and then
Batman
there's
versus
Wonder Woman.
Superman had a story. Aquaman
was a
2 had
stupid-ass
no
story.
such. Yeah, it was a dumb story.
Stupid story.
There is no story in Aquaman Treasure of the Lost. Stupid.
And
I don't
somehow
even know.
I give that more credit than the story of Batman versus Superman, because at least Aquaman was slightly fun. Batman versus Superman was boring and
Hey, remember the time that the ghost of Chris Pine possessed a human being and then had sex with Wonder Woman, which was very obviously sexual assault to the possessed guy?
I remember that. That was an interesting story. Let's talk about what's her name? The cat chick.
Oh, Kristen Wiig?
What's her actual name? Like comic
Kristen
name,
Wiig.
though?
Oh,
Cheetah. Okay, you just pull it up. She might have been the best part of that movie, unfortunately. And the reason why I laugh is because a comedian who is, let's just say, she's not a great actress, bro.
well, let's
Give
see.
her more-
She was in
give her more- give her
Bridesmaids,
more
which was for
believable-
chicks, so whatever.
Yeah.
She
Give
was
a more
in the
believable performance.
Ghostbusters remake, which was so bad they had to do it again.
Yeah.
She was in The Martian. I don't remember her.
I don't remember her in that at all. I remember her in Despicable Me. She was what's his name's wife, eventually wife, right?
I don't
Pedro
understand.
Pascal was in that movie. I forgot Pedro Pascal was in that movie.
DC wasted Pedro Pascal.
Oh my gosh, he was Max Solo. I forgot he was in that movie. Did he change? He changed his hair color in that movie, didn't he? Wasn't he like brown, like a brunette in there in that one?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't want you to think I'm trying to be shitty to you. I'm not. I love you. I can't. To quote the British, I can't be asked. Like, I can't try to remember that, because only sadness and disappointment comes from remembering any part of that movie. God,
Wonder
what an
Woman
awful
84
movie.
was the least entertaining movie I watched while smoking. Okay.
Yeah, like what? I wouldn't put Wonder Woman 84 on if I'm fucking a Tinder date. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put a movie on and be like, yeah, let's go. Like Netflix and chill kind of stuff. But like, I'm not gonna put that on, because what if at some point they're like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like, she asked everybody to give up their wish, the thing they want the most in the world. And they did.
Yeah,
I gotta
was dumb.
leave. I can't.
That was dumb.
I can never have sex again. Like, it's
That was
I have no
that was
idea.
to save everyone. Let's have everyone give up their wish. Okay. There's also
So-
another movie that was similar to that called Wish on Disney that was also awful. But let's move on.
Move on.
We're
What's
venturing
left?
into different territory.
What's left?
That's true. What else are we talking about? Is that it? Are we done? Are we there yet?
What's Chris Pine doing?
Is that what it is?
What's Chris Pine doing? What's any
was
DC news? Is there any new DC news?
There's a Twitter post from James Gunn with all of them reading Superman comic books a couple of days ago, but that was about it.
Henry
At some
Cavill
point,
comments.
I guess we'll start talking about some DC stuff. We'll get into it. It's just not much. There's not really much DC content to talk about.
I would
right now.
love to talk about it, and I promise you, we'll talk about Joker Folie à Deux. Because I'm pre-hating that movie.
We should talk about how I'm not gonna go watch that musical. I'm just saying, the first movie was like, wow, oh my goodness, I've never seen Joker that way. What a good way to do that. This next one right here, the F is that. And I'm trying to be understanding. There's people who like this type of thing, but that's not the reason why people watch the first one. So why are we changing it? That is all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Is this a... There's no way this is a real trailer. Oh, it's a first look concept. Yeah, I don't have time for your bullshit. Get out of here. I think that people think James Gunn is a better director than he is. And I think having low expectations might make the movie. I don't think the movie's going to be bad. But I think that people think James Gunn's a better director than he is. And please watch Slither. Please watch Slither.
So what I
and
think people are
Brightburn.
not, I think what people are not prepared for is how much he just decides to make decisions to change up entire character arcs that might piss people off. And I don't think people are prepared for that. In some situations, it worked. Look at Star-Lord. That worked. But in some instances, it won't. And that's concerning. Because he's one of those people that looks at comic. He knows comic lore. I think he genuinely actually knows comic lore. But then I think that he's one of those people just like, but they won't notice if I change just this one little
Watch
thing,
Brightburn, which was his take on a evil Superman. And while it was a fine horror movie, and I do mean fine, like very middle of the pack, it shows the... Like, it shows... Every movie he does, like, he hates superhero movies. He hates them. Super is a terrible... is a riff on it. It's almost like a B movie. Okay. Slither is a horror movie. Like, he did Scooby-Doo. That one was fine.
It was okay.
I enjoyed what he did with Guardians. I will give him credit.
When did Slither come out, though?
2006.
Okay. I mean, he's been better, right? Since then?
No, let's not say that. James Gunn had the benefit of being a director under the Reichstag that was Kevin Feige. And there are directors who worked with Kevin Feige that left. Edgar Wright, a phenomenal director, couldn't work for Feige. Like whoever was originally supposed to do the Spider-Man movie left, and it was replaced. Whoever was Peyton Reed took over for Edgar Wright, and he did all three Ant-Man. Someone was supposed to do the Spider-Man movies, and they left, and they got Mark Webb to do them. It's hold on, you just sent me a picture.
Was that me or somebody sent me? Ooh.
New pictures of David Corn Sweat filming an ad in Mexico. The person who originally posted these thought he met Henry Cavill, but it was already David. That does look like Henry Cavill.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna say, bro, like he's getting pretty jacked up for this role then.
It doesn't matter. You had the best Superman. You had the best Superman I've ever seen in my life. And you were just like, no, you cared too much. They had the best Witcher. Hey, did anyone know that The Witcher is basically fucking over now? Because they fired Henry Cavill?
I thought he was still on for seasons 4 and 5. Is that not? So who's doing seasons 4 and 5 then?
The lesser Hemsworth.
Oh, okay.
The one that Netflix bought. Netflix bought Liam's Hemsworth and Robbie Amell. They own them. They belong to Netflix now. They take them out of a cabinet and they go, here, do this movie.
So what's frustrating for me is that I was planning on watch. So there's a lot of shows that I haven't watched over the past couple of years because I've been having a lot of children. So I'm finally in the place where I can start catching up on movies and TV.
I keep trying to watch TV, but these kids keep showing up.
No, seriously, it's just like, oh, another one? Damn it. Listen, appointments next month. We're almost in the clear. All right, so I was going to get into The Witcher, but now that I know that he's not going to continue on to be a part of the show, I'm like, is it worth still watching the first 3 seasons?
No, The Witcher got notoriously worse and worse. Witcher renewed for 5th and final season as production gets underway on 4th season.
Yeah, I knew that they were going into their 4th season, but
yeah,
I'm like,
so they were like, we're gonna
third. Okay.
So the 3rd season was half Cavill.
Okay.
And then they just cut it short. Look, I'm not saying that Liam Hemsworth wouldn't do a good job. I'm saying the reason Henry Cavill left is because they sucked. And it's over. Like, it's over now.
So basically what you're saying is just stick to what you're gonna watch it. So I'm getting into One Piece now. I'm watching a little bit more of that, and somebody's telling me you gotta watch One Punch Man. I had a friend that came over on last week, and he was just like, bro, you haven't watched One Punch Man yet? And I was like, no, I haven't, bro. I haven't watched One Punch Man. He was just like,
you've never
shut
up. You've never watched One Punch Man?
I've never watched it. And he was just like, bro, you got to start watching. I'm like, bro, I got to watch One Piece. He's like, no. Watch One Punch Man first. One Piece is going to take forever. So you'll come back to that after you finish watching One Punch Man. Watch One Piece, watch One Punch Man, and then go back to One Piece.
First of all, you can sleep through 90% of One Piece and still understand nothing that's going on.
That's fair.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
What you need to know is Don Flamingo is the best. That's all you need to know about One Piece. But it is a sin that you have never seen One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a deconstruction of the shonen anime genre by making everything that people loved about shown, like the super strong guy fights the bad guys, by making it dumb and repetitive. And One Punch Man is the best telling of a story that goes, all of the things you love is stupid, I've ever seen in my life. One Punch Man, there are people who think One Punch Man is a superhero like story where Saitama, the main character, is like Goku. Saitama is a joke, and the entire anime makes fun of people who like that. And they don't get it. They do not get it. They don't get it. They just don't. They're like, yeah, Saitama. And we're like, you get they're taking the piss, right? They're making fun of you.
Okay.
He beats everyone in one punch. So he doesn't care. You have to watch it.
Yeah,
we have to talk about
it. Yeah, I gotta get into it.
It's like 24 total episodes, dude. Like, it's 2 seasons.
Yeah, I heard it's not bad at all.
It's phenomenal.
Watch. Yeah, and like I said, he was telling me like, hey, you definitely should get into it, and he's like, yeah, watch that, and then after you watch that, then get into One Piece. Because I had a friend of mine that we reviewed the One Piece live action video, and ever since we reviewed the One Piece live action video, he was just like, you know what? I like your video. However, I'm not gonna watch the live action. I'm just gonna watch the One Piece series. So he's in like season 6 right now. He's never watched the live action. He just watched the actual anime. And he's like,
why?
Yeah, he's like, I'll watch the live action.
But the anime covers like the first 38 episodes.
and that's
the
what he was
live
saying.
action, like
Yeah, the live action. What he was telling me is like, yeah, I've kind of already gotten past the place where I just got past the place where the live action is now. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's that's up to you. I mean, you do you. I was like, I personally, the reason why I had an issue watching the anime is because I had already seen so much of everything that had already happened in the live action. So I'm like, I kind of got to speed through or just skip and get past Arlong Park, and then I'll start watching it from there.
I'm reading this thing about fan casting Nico Robin as the chick who played Yennefer. No, maybe, I don't know. No, because Nico is not. Maybe. Vivi as who the hell? Suits? I don't remember you from Suits.
So they're supposed to be coming out with another season 2 at some point, right? One Piece.
Wait. Yeah, they're in recording now. Brina Palencia as the voice of Chopper. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I don't care.
Right.
Chopper's the shit. Yes, correct. Zola Maduena from Cobra Kai as Ace is absolutely perfect casting. Like, change nothing, perfect casting. Jamie Lee Curtis as Korea, that's fine and hilarious. Don't care. Hilarious. Just looking at these. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Sorry, I just wanted to run through all of the One Piece casting stuffs. I think One Piece is, there's a big 3 anime, right? And depending on who you ask, those big 3 change. But the core of the of anime, depending on when you got into it, because like anyone older than 30, the big 3 are Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and One Piece. Dragon Ball Z aged out a lot of people, so they replaced it with like Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay.
But they are shonen anime where they're from a different time, where if they needed a lot of episodes to tell a very simple story, and they were always behind the manga, and manga took forever, so the shows took forever. Not a big fan of how that storytelling was. Like, I still to this day have never watched Shippuden. I've seen parts of it, could care less. It's not for me. There are animes that have overtaken it, and you see it, like Jujutsu Kaisen is something that's been popular. A very popular one that I think is a terrible anime for terrible people is Attack on Titan. It's an awful anime for dumb people. I don't like it. But you know, it's popular. There's a lot. One Punch Man is the same thing. You have to watch it. You have no choice. This is your life now. Like, I'm almost sad to know that you haven't watched it. Like, if you said you haven't watched Fairy Tail, I'm like, of course you haven't. Like, no, I won't. I'm the only one who watched Fairy Tail. Devil's a Part-Timer. Solo Leveling's a brand new one. 12 episodes, phenomenal story. Really good art style.
Oh, it's on Hulu.
What is?
One Punch Man.
Yeah, probably. Everything's on Anywave.to though, so
okay,
that's a free one for you guys. Anywave.to. Oh my god, One Punch Man. We gotta talk. Please watch it so we can talk about it next week.
All right. We'll I probably won't get through the whole season, but I'll probably most likely get through a couple episodes.
You think you won't, and you're like, no, I gotta watch. Watch it with your kids. They'll love it.
Would they watch? Would they be able to get into One Punch Man?
There is cartoon violence in One Punch Man.
Okay.
So as a father, I need you to know that he'll like punch a hole through a giant monster.
Okay.
But it's not like gore because the monster's blood is like purple, so it just looks stupid.
Gotcha.
It's almost like Power Rangers. No, it's actually exactly like Power Rangers in like Freak of the Week monsters. Only oh, look, this stupid dumb bad monster is bad and dumb. But generally, I don't believe there's any adult things in One Punch Man. There's no sexiness except one chick, but she's not like anime sexy. She's just attractive. There's a lot of cute characters, and the violence is very cartoon violence. You know, like it's very One Piece violence. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of punching and kicking, and at one point someone throws a bicycle, but there's not. You watch like a couple episodes. Watch like the first 2 episodes because it doesn't get worse or better. There are some things that kids won't get. There's Puri Puri Prisoner, who's in jail.
I'm looking at the stuff right now. It's available, so I can watch it through Disney Plus because now you can watch Hulu on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it right now. And I'm like, okay, so they have the dub version and they have the subtitle version, which I'm probably just gonna watch the dub version. I don't have the time to sit there and read a screen and figure out the subtitles.
Just watch the dub. Dubs got a lot better after the year of our Lord 2010 because they started getting real voice actors, and the past dubs were not great.
Okay. So I'll probably end up getting through the first. So these episodes also aren't long. They're only 20 minutes, 25.
Yeah, these
are pretty quick.
There's not a lot of violence. I mean, there's violence, but it's not real violence.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So we'll watch a couple episodes of that.
What's it rated? Because it's not rated TVMA.
It is rated TV 14.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
Yeah, like TV 14 is, like there's violence.
Yeah.
But there's no sexual.
I probably still wouldn't have the kids watch it. I'll probably watch it on my own, but that actually is easier for me.
It's like somewhere between. It's somewhere between SpongeBob SquarePants and X-Men 97.
Okay. It's a wide gap.
Yeah. But X-Men 97 showed motherfuckers dying.
Yeah, that's fair.
How do you want My Hero Academia? My Hero Academia is phenomenal for exactly 3 seasons, and then it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I remember playing the game. That was interesting.
The mobile game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was great.
Is that it? Have we come to an end?
I mean, you brought the car to a screeching halt when you're like, people keep telling me about One Punch Man. I don't even like, our friendship's on the line now, buddy. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
So there may or may not be a podcast next week, depending on how far I get into One Punch Man.
Nah, it's fine.
You heard it here first.
It's fine.
Well, where we finish off? So listen, X-Men 97 was good. It had Storm. X-Men 97 was good, but it wasn't great. Still feel like there's some things that are rushed, but we understand that they're doing it for the setup of episode 8, 9, and 10.
What do we do?
So we see what they're doing. Next episode is most likely going to be either Sinister. We've seen Sinister do some stuff, or we're going to see them see that Professor X is back. Blah 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 blah. Probably all, but both. And then Transformers.
And apparently, I have to get a checklist of animes you have to watch ready too.
Apparently, there's also a list of animes that I need to watch that needs to be listed out. Transformers 1 looks like it's gonna suck. I'm not gonna watch it. Do that on your own time. I'm not watching that crap. Or maybe I will watch it so I can then yell about it in a video for 12 minutes.
Yeah. Just take the contrarian YouTube video. Just be like, Transformers 1 suck and you suck for liking it. That's just the title.
Yeah.
I got you, man.
I first have to say Transformers 1 is woke BS, and then that usually gets the views. All right,
if you say Transformers 1 period, and then a second line, have robots become woke, question mark, exclamation, 10 million views in the first day, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Whether or not I actually talk about those things in the video is irrelevant. It's just the fact that the title said it.
And next week we're just gonna do a full woke stream.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that's definitely gonna get us monetized, right? So we're gonna be there at that point.
We'll just come up 100%. And we'll put emo only chat on. just watch. Just sit there as the
I like
the frowny faces come in.
Let's do it. I'm all for it. All right, listen.
All right,
appreciate you guys be here. GnT out. Let's see y'all next week. Bye.
I used to have a button. Now I have to click it on my mouse.